This episode of the Esoteric Order of Roleplayers is brought to you by the generosity of our backers on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/esotericrp to find out how you can become a backer too. The members broadcasting these episodes live in New Mexico and Colorado, the traditional territories of the Pueblo and Ute peoples. We acknowledge these are unceded lands, with communities who continue to maintain connections to these places, and recognize their ancestors, their elders both past and present, and future generations. Learn more about Pueblo culture at indianpueblo.org and Ute culture at utepac.com. That's UTEPAC.com. The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers present A Restful Journey, a Ryuutama campaign, with Rainy as the Game Master.
Yay!
Oh, I still got a pop-up though.
Yeah, you still have to consent. It's just no one goes, hey! Hey!
Hey, Dormy!
Awesome. Well, welcome everyone to session 1.
Thank you.
Just for the listenage, I would like to point out this is a new game for us as a group. So calm down. If my interpretation of a game that's already been translated is not your interpretation of an interpretation. So
Yeah, really.
Whatever.
I mean, that should really go for any game.
For any game, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't rules check me. This is my version of Ryuutama.
Boom.
Okay, so this just
Every
froze.
game at the oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's okay, go. It's okay, go. Go for it.
I feel like every game at the beginning of the book like comes right out and says, and all of that being said, these are all really guidelines so that you can have fun. And blah, blah, blah. There's always a blurb like that at the beginning of like every fucking book. You know what I mean? And then people like lose their fucking minds. It's like, well, actually, like, bro, like. Ease down, Ripley. You're just grinding metal.
It's weird. It's very weird. I don't get that, but yeah. Okay.
I gotta just like as an aside along those lines, I got the most like compliment YouTube comment the other day.
What?
One
Really?
of my games.
Oh.
That was like it was like a past game, not with this group, but the comment was like, when you have a group that's at your level, your games will be good.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Oh my God.
Like,
Holy shit!
Yeah. I mean, I was there.
Uh-oh.
and like 3 of my best friends were there.
Well,
So-
friendship and games are different. Like, those are 2 different things. So they might be great
That's
friends,
true.
but not great players.
Well, yeah.
it was a fine game though.
I'm sure it
I'm
was
not
fun.
trying to like correlate the 2, but you
it's
do
like,
care about
calm down.
them. So
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
It's rude.
Is
Yeah,
all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Definitely
Right.
rude.
When someone's
That's
rude to
always
your
the kind
friends,
of
you give a
comments I
shit
get
more
upset.
maybe than when it's a stranger.
that's bad. That's not welcome. I mean, that's why it's like things are just not, I don't know. Putting yourself out there, put yourself out there, see how it feels. We're putting it out there just to maybe provide some education and entertainment for people. Why don't you put yourself out there for once and see what it feels like and the time, effort, energy that it takes to do and see how you feel before like sending a critique.
Right.
It's just a thought. You know, maybe
Make
put
your
yourself
own.
in someone else's shoes. Make your own content. See how you feel. This will probably all be cut, but I'm just saying.
Cut that.
Cut
Cut that. But like, make your own content and see
with
how you.
blackjack and hookers.
Yeah,
That's right.
and you might be happier with it. Who knows? But this is content that we create mostly for ourselves to enjoy. We put it out there for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes. And, you know, it does come with critiques people bring to the table and we go, cool, that's great. Don't have to address it.
Yeah. Buena.
That's for you.
Yep.
So cool.
So I guess since we're introducing one at a time as far as our opening for the game, for the sake of the listenership, Why don't we go around and at least just say like who we are and what we're playing, like as far as your class and type? So Des, why don't we start with you?
Oh shit. Okay. Yep, I should have known. Should have known.
Every time.
Yeah, every time.
Damn it.
All right. So I am playing. My character's name is Mercedes Onda.
Nice.
And I am a noble class. I am the leader of this group. I am an attack type, which means that I can wield weapons and defend us from various things we might encounter that are probably cramping our style, like comments on our gaming. Let's see. I have skills in etiquette, a refined education, and what's called weapon grace, which is it's just the ability to use my dexterity, intelligence to wield my weapon, which is a rapier. Again, just, I don't know, it just ends up that way sometimes. So this is the year of the rapier, apparently. So for me, and I also have a dagger, which is a part of my shield. Armor, is this the kind of specs you want to get into, or more qualitative?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Okay. And I have, do you want to get into like appearance and stuff like that too?
I think we can describe your character when we introduce you in your opening.
Perfect.
But yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of my stats. So my int is 8, my intelligence is 8, dexterity is 6, my strength is 4, and my spirit is 4.
Oh, interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, nobles are interesting because it's like I can talk to people, I know things, and I will cut you.
Yeah. I'll
That's-
be strategic. I'll be strategic in my cutting you, because it's like I might not be the strongest and can last the longest in a battle, but I can maybe be more surgical. You know?
Mhm.
Okay.
I like it.
Did you say you were 8844?
8644.
8644. 8644? How'd you get to that? 8644. I'm just looking at the spreads here. Just want to make sure you're
I could have sworn that was one of them.
86. It's either 4668 or 4488, and you get a boost. You can boost one of those.
Which is what I
True
think I did
facts.
with my dex.
Which is what?
6.
Well, then no, that couldn't be, because then you would have been 4448.
Tell me the spread. Tell me the spread again.
It's, you can go 6 across the board. You can go 4668, or you can go 4488.
Oh, okay. So yes, I think I just hobbled myself unintentionally.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
That's what I do also.
Yeah, it is a does move to be like, I will
That is
keep this
true.
stat
Classic.
low.
Right.
And not
Well,
And
she
somehow
has to
still
challenge
succeed.
herself. She
Yeah.
has to challenge herself,
Yeah.
because otherwise she'd just make the
Stop.
rest of us look bad.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
so
have
my
to give the
dex-
listeners something to scream about. Like,
Okay, then
they're
that
like,
could have been. Then that should have been it. That should have been it.
raise your skill.
I know.
Oh my God, Aaron, please.
Oh man, I've forgotten which one that was. I think it was. Was it Dex? I think
It was Dex.
Yeah.
It was Dex. Yeah.
It's always
There's also-
Especially because you'd always be like, maybe this time I'll raise Dex. You know what? No, I'm going to do this instead.
I'm gonna do this,
And it was
flavor
always
thing.
cooler. It was
Yeah.
always cooler though.
It did
People are
work
having
out.
accidents.
And there were a couple of times where it's like, I need to buy some brawl sometime. One
Yeah.
of these days.
Right.
Maybe I'll get a little brawl. But it,
Oh, dear.
it all worked
Okay.
out.
It
Well,
did.
yeah.
It worked out. It did work
It worked out as far as I have listened. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Oh,
Aaron is a
oh.
magical creature. He just like bumble fucks his way through everything.
Does.
And
Both
like,
things. Bumbles and fucks his way
Yeah,
through
that's
things.
true.
Basically.
it's like, is this
All
a
right.
bumble day or a fuck day?
Fuck day. Yeah, exactly. Why not both? All right.
Okay, no,
so,
let's do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm fine now. So sorry, everybody. So my dex is 8, my intelligence is 8, spirit is 4, strength is 4.
I
Okay,
like
so
it.
now you get to boost one of those.
Oh my God, how dare you? I'm gonna boost my strength to 6.
Okay,
call.
to 6.
Good call.
Awesome. I think that's a good idea.
So that was just a little slice of Desiree in primary and secondary school and high school, like the whole shebang. All of school is just, in a nutshell, that. So in case you're curious, I don't think any of you were, but if you're curious what kind of student I was, that is it right there. Okay, thank you. That's
Wonderful.
all I got. I've taken
Thank
up
you
way too much
for-
time already.
No, introducing your character. It's wonderful. David, how about you?
Okay, so I am playing Ren Miko. I'm just leaning all into the weeb side here, as I said
love
last
it.
time. And I am a minstrel.
Ren?
Ren, yes.
Okay. WREN or REN?
REN. And I'm a minstrel. I'm a magic minstrel, actually. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I didn't write down my type last time. What did I say I was going to do? I was going to be the chronicler, right? The
Yes. Yeah.
whatever it's called. What was it called?
Quartermaster? No, that's not quartermaster.
Journal keeper.
The journal keeper.
Yeah.
Keeper. Okay.
Chronicler.
Journaler, I'll just say. That's a word.
Mhm.
And
Chronicler is a word too.
yeah, that's true. Makes you think of World of Darkness, though.
Yeah.
does
Chronicler
it?
of lightness.
Oh no. Sorry.
Chronicler of Lightness.
Sorry.
Okay. Cool. Let's see. What else is interesting about me? Well, of course, I'm a kitsune.
Mhm.
Oh, of course.
Of course, naturally. A kitsune with a strange and checkered past, which I'm sure you'll all be finding out about.
What's a
as we play.
kitsune?
What's a kitsune? You say it's a fox spirit. It's a sort of magical fox. Although I'm only in human form, and I
You're
have
a
a little.
shapeshifter?
Technically, yes. Although whether
I
or
have
not,
shape-shifted. Yes.
yes, shapes have been shifted in the past. Let's put it that way. And I do have a fox for a pet as well.
Yeah, I have a jackalope as a pet.
Oh
yeah, that's right. Okay, and yeah, a fox with a bad attitude. That's right.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It's delightful. I'm so excited.
And then I do know magic, as previously mentioned, and that is summer magic, I believe, is what I ended up going with. I just have my
you did?
spells
Oh, you
written
did
down.
go for summer?
Yes.
Full on cicada realness.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes, I have the
Which no-no spell
cicada
do you have?
chorus.
No-no spell?
Chorus.
Which no spell did you?
Oh, the
have for
no
summer?
spell. That's right. That's what actually tipped me over to summer magic, is that I have briar no to make thorny briar wall spring up.
I like that. That's
Every
cool.
season has a no, but
Mhm.
summer
It does.
gets briar.
Or briar no. All right. So I think that's all I need to really. Oh, and right. So the stats are strength 4, dex 6, intelligence 8, spirit 8.
Nice.
And I have a cast iron pipe that I use to beat people with if need be, or poke their eyes out.
Very good. Yes.
Or,
The
well, at least
most
jab them in the eye.
brutal Ryuutama play ever.
What the heck?
All right, Santiago.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
I am choosing to play Akanit, our artisan cook, who is a technical type, specializing as a chef with skills in trapping and crafting food. I can repair your stuff as well. And I can also do trail cooking, which is very useful. And I am a bear folk, which we'll get into later in more detail. I have a talbook for a pack animal, which for the uninitiated is kind of a ram horse kind of hybrid.
Ooh.
And we'll get into more appearance and stuff with that as well. Nothing special, just your basic pack animal, but the species is endemic to my home turf, and they are known for being sure-footed, hardy, and trainable, but this one is just basic right now. Stats, we're looking at strength 8, dex 7, int 6, spirit 4. So I did the 8664 array and bumped up my dex by 1. And there we are with that. And I think that's about it for now, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Good. Okay, so Mercedes, Ren, and Akanet. Very good. Writing this down.
My Talbook's name is Ursus, by the way.
Okay. Nice.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Very.
On brand.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes total sense.
Thought it'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what this game is all about. Does it sound like it would be cool? Sure, do that.
Yeah. Do it.
Mhm, mhm.
This is the yes hand game where Monster Hearts is the yes but game, where it's like, yes,
But, exactly.
So it's all right. Okay. So, I guess I should introduce myself.
Yes,
I will
hi.
be playing your region today, and for the next few days that we play this.
Mhm.
I am a Midoriyu. So I'm a green dragon folk. I have a few different ways that I can appear in your adventure. My default region form basically looks like me with my glasses on and with horns. So, deal with it. It's me. I'm running your game. But Ame can also appear as a crone along your journeys, or as a ruffled, tawny colored vulture. In all of Ame's forms, though, there is the artifact torch, which is distinctive to their character. And yeah, right now I'm a level 1 GM, so I can't really do very much.
GMs have levels?
Yes.
Finally. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I've been
After
joking
this
about
first
that
session,
for 30
I will level
years.
up. I'm very
Yeah.
excited.
Yes.
But so at level 1, the only thing that I can do is use my artifact ability. So at the end of every session, all of your XP gains will be doubled because of my magical torch. And that will help us see a bit more of the game than we normally would in such a short run. So
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yay.
yeah.
So are you going to be like around? Like, are you going to be like in the game around like
Yeah,
pop-
I exist in the game. I am a character.
So it's like the D&D cartoon series where Dungeon Master would just show up and fuck with the, characters and then
but
disappear.
less
only you're
of
not
a-
fucking
my-
up?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
understanding is that the Dungeon Master from the cartoon was really like, haha, just kidding, you're never going home or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm more there like, oh shit, they made such a bad choice to save their lives. Like, yeet them back onto the path. My goal as the region is for you to have an amazing story to tell, which means hopefully you all live to tell the tale. So
Right.
that's my job.
Okay.
So I have, as I level, I will get certain benedictions, certain powers that allow me to like shift your fate and make
Ooh.
certain things happen, or make things more exciting if things are getting boring. I can introduce elements that complicate things. And real worst case scenario, as I level, I can go full on dragon and be like, oh shit, and like Dragon Ex Machina this shit back into functionality. So
Nice.
yeah, it's very exciting.
It is.
Okay, but we are starting, as we decided, in our session 0 in the city of Arricia. This is a city known for being kind of this sun-drenched, terraced, green and lush landscape. The city is surrounded by fields where all sorts of different food crops grow, things like olives and all the sorts of lovely warm weather foods. The buildings here are roofed in like red clay tiles and with a lot of like, whitewashed walls and things like that, colorful doors. And it's a big city. In this area, it's kind of like your main hub if you were going to be traveling through to somewhere else, or for many travelers, this is the place where it's like a great destination to kind of want to travel to, because it's such a renowned city known for everything it can offer as far as rest and respite and opportunity. So, for our opening, we'll start with Santiago. So, Akane.
Hi.
You have traveled here from elsewhere. Can you describe a little bit more about where you are from?
Yeah, I traveled here from high in the mountains with lots of craggy cliffs, but also glens and meadows and stuff like that. It's the evergreen forest type of mountains, so lots of evergreen type of trees and so on, and rivers and so forth. And I am from a small river fishing village called Arricia, and my family ran a restaurant there for generations.
Now, you say ran in the past tense.
Yeah.
So there's a reason that you set out, and what is that?
There unfortunately was a fire, and it burned down like 20% of the village, and my restaurant included, the soy sauce brewery next to it included, and stuff like that.
Must have smelled interesting.
Oh God!
Oh man, I'm sure.
Hard soy sauce.
Wait, was the fire caused by the restaurant? Was that the epicenter?
I mean, no, I don't know that there's necessarily like fire forensics type of investigation.
I'm just curious if it was obvious. If it wasn't obvious, fine.
But yeah, no, like, so thankfully there was, no like loss of life.
Good.
It was a big thing, but it was, where people were able to get away and band together, and strings of buckets from the nearby river, and I don't know, I imagine someone like knocking a wooden pin out of place, and some like irrigation dam gives way and floods this and that, so on and so forth. Everyone banded together because it's a very tight-knit community.
Nice.
And they all fought the fire together. And so there was no loss of life involved with that, and it didn't start in the restaurant or anything like that. Like it wasn't at least obvious that, where a survivor was like, oh, I don't know what happened. I just threw a bunch of water on the hot oil and then everything caught on fire. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Nothing like that. So, but who knows? Maybe there's some intrigue that I am not aware of. But as far as I'm aware, that was not the case. And yes, there was much people standing around with 20% of the village burned down, and they were like, that sure smells weird. So
yeah.
They were all doing like the bear pawing at its snout maneuver.
Like, ooh.
Doing the bear lips that they do. I don't know. Did we actually mention that you're a bear person? I don't remember if that's actually said.
Not really.
I mentioned
bear folk.
Okay.
I mentioned I'm a bear folk, but
what does that like? What does that mean?
Yeah. What do you look like?
What's that mean for my weekend?
Yeah.
Okay. Bear folk in this world are, they're anthropomorphic bear people. So it's not just a bear walking around on its hind legs, or even like the bears in other fiction where they're sentient and speaking and stuff, but still ambling around like normal. They have bear hands and bear arms.
Yeah.
And bare legs.
Do you even have the right, though?
I love this. Right. I don't know that we codified my right to be. I was thinking more, suns out, guns out, bare arms and bare legs, and like that, taking the joke in that direction.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah.
My bare chest. So
it's going to get confusing. I can tell already.
Very much so.
Right. Exactly. Basically, yeah, you have a 9 foot tall bear person, heavily built as a bear would be, like you might imagine. You know, our bear folk don't tend to svelteness. We tend towards bulkiness.
Yeah.
And Akhenet has brown fur, the tan mask and markings on his face, and legs and arms darken to black. So hands and feet are black, and then kind of a gradient on up to join the brownness of the main body area. We wear clothes and shoes and gloves and everything, just like
you wear like loincloths and stuff, like, or is it pants?
No, we mostly wear
just covered in fur.
Normal clothes, yeah, but we are also covered in fur. So yeah.
Do your pants have a hole for your tail?
Yes, of course.
Yay!
Excellent.
And like any sort of hat would have ear holes.
Ear holes,
around
yay!
ears to poke out as well.
Hell
back
yeah.
on board.
If there's
right back
kind
in there. Do you wear an apron all the time, or just some of the time?
Not all the time, no, because that would be, I feel like, fairly unsanitary. So I'm only going to put on an apron when I'm going to be cooking.
We could have a traveling apron and then like a cooking apron. And it's just like you always have an apron for every occasion. But anyway, I love this. I love this
occasion.
Yeah.
I do like how everything for bear folk is upsized, you know?
Yeah.
Like if a bear folk takes off their coat to like give it to someone who's like cold, they're just like
huge.
A human size. They're just like drowning in this.
I love it.
Expanse of cloth and padding and so on and so forth. So his sun cape is like a tarp, basically a giant tarp, and you know, and his he also has an umbrella right among his kit. So he holds the umbrella and it's like an umbrella, and then if you can like stick it in the ground, it's like a beach umbrella.
I like that
because he's just huge.
Yeah.
Right.
But among his people, I mean, you know, they range from 8 to 10 feet. So he's kind of just right in the average at 9 feet tall.
Okay.
It's not,
nice.
Not especially big for a bear folk, but compared to
how old is this
humans,
bear? How
Akhenet is he, him, and he's 36.
Is that old for a bear?
No, not really.
Oh.
Probably about around middle-aged. You know, or so, but there are bear folk who live into their hundreds fairly frequently. Just
wow. Okay.
We don't live very like harsh lives or anything like that. Our fishing villages are fairly peaceful. We don't have like intertribal warfare or anything like that. So.
Well, there's omega fatty acids from the fish, so
I was gonna say fish is a staple part of our diet and also a trade good, and so on. You know, lots of artisans and so forth that can export leather goods and stuff like that. And also you can sell the wool from the talbook and et cetera, et cetera. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
But what else though? I think.
Well, I have questions, but I think those might come out on the road.
Des has questions.
He has questions.
Always.
Got my talbook Ursus. Yeah, like I said, they're a goat horse hybrid. So it's like a ram with long horse legs that are tufted at the hoofs. The horns kind of grow straight up and curved back slightly, as opposed to curling type of horns, and they're often just gorgeous, iridescent, pearlescent in color. So they have a gradient from the base where they're white gray, and they kind of go to purple, pink, pearlescent type of colors.
Yeah. They're twilight horse goats.
Twilight horse goats. Yeah, so sparkly and iridescent and magical. There's stripes on their back coat, cloven hooves. Yeah, that's about it. They can be trained for riding, but among the bear folk, that's not a thing because of size.
You're a little
physics.
heavy
because of physics.
What's their temperament? What's the temperament of this type of beast?
Oh, they tend to be friendly and mild mannered. They're not typically feisty. I mean, every once in a while you're gonna get a a rogue tell book, but they're usually
Mhm.
they're usually mild mannered and high energy, sure-footed mountain type of creatures. So a lot of the goat comes out, in that. They do tend to be really, like I said, hardy, smart, trainable.
They eat anything.
They are not picky with with what they eat. I am doing my utmost to keep Ursus comfortable, because they're not super comfy in these hot climates. They're acclimated to the high mountain fishing villages, which rarely get very hot.
Yeah.
Mm.
Cool.
So you were basically sent forth with your family's nest egg, or I guess den egg. I don't know what they would call it.
The family jewels.
Yeah. To basically,
family jewels.
I mean, maybe you're of an age even where you're taking over the business. I don't know. I'm not commenting on your family jewels comment.
No,
so
we're going to keep moving on.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
To basically find a new start for the family business.
Whoa.
And so you've arrived
franchise.
Here, in Arricia, and this place has really caught your eye as having a lot of potential. But for the time you've been here, let's say you've been here at least a few days as you're checking things out. What have you been doing other than looking around for potential locations for your restaurant, your business?
I have been running an ad hoc food court where I just cook and sell my food to, make some money, but also drum up interest in what we're going to offer when we set up a permanent shop, get the word out. You kind of have like a food truck that builds interest before you go brick and mortar, as a one business model. That's kind of what I'm doing. But I don't have a truck, obviously. So I have a lantern, on a pole, and I do have an umbrella, and I can gather other ad hoc materials, a stump here and borrow a bench there and that sort of thing, and just kind of set up and start cooking some of my more popular dishes to hand out and sell.
So what type of food do you and your family specialize in that you are offering here in your pop-up offering?
Good question.
Heard that.
Yeah. So it's all about the materials that I can acquire, so I just work with whatever I can find, but it's mostly dumplings, stuffed vegetables of various types, any vegetable that lends itself to stuffing and roasting. And then also lots of broths, soups, that sort of situation. I really want to make noodles, but it's just I don't have the
space for
facilities
that.
Right now.
Yeah.
To make some noodles. I could make the shit out of some noodles. That's gonna have to wait, but previewing that with like a nice vegetable rich broth, as like, now imagine that, but with noodles and eggs and all sorts of other delicious things. Because really, noodles, it's all about the broth anyway. So so I'm showcasing the broth with
Yeah. So I think considering that you've been cooking, probably making enough to make sure you have a place to stay and stuff like that, why don't you make our first roll of the game?
Yeah.
Which will be your condition check for starting this day of our game.
Sweet.
I like
that. Awesome. Okay.
So if you need it, we have it in our little game info area. But your condition check is strength plus spirit. And you will have a +1 to that because you've been eating your own food, which we know is delicious.
All right. So you just roll these die that are indicated by those.
So your strength die
stats.
and your spirit die. And so you're going to total them, but it's also important for us to know what you rolled on each die, because there's a couple ways to fumble and critically succeed.
Lovely.
So knowing the numbers are important.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Let's throw my phone into the sun.
Always a good idea.
Roll here. All right. I rolled 1d8 and I rolled 1d4 just to make sure I'm on the right page with all of that.
Yep.
On my d8 for strength, I got 7.
Okay.
And on my d4 for spirit, I got 4.
What?
So
wow.
Oh.
11 plus 1 is 12. So on your character sheet, your condition currently is 12, which is under your HP and stuff. It's like a little scale. And you'll note there, it says if your condition is 10 or higher, you can add a dice size to any one stat for today.
For today. Okay. So you got to remember that. Okay, cool.
There's a note section on your sheet.
Is there?
Lower left.
Oh, right. That's notes.
Plus
right.
1 to something. Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
All right.
Very
So
cool.
what stat do you think you're upgrading today for your time around the city?
I'll upgrade spirit today. I've been good spirits.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you wake up feeling great, right? That makes sense. You've been eating well. You've been making enough to support staying at an inn. Inn had a wonderful minstrel. And while you have been serving people at your pop-up dining experience, you notice a lot of people have been commenting on how excited they are to find a place still serving food. A lot of the restaurants in the area have shut down
It's true.
due to a lack of ingredients.
Gotta stretch those ingredients, boys, which I'm sure they have done, but eventually, run out. Can only stretch them so far.
And so that, I mean, for better or worse, has opened up a lot of options for places that you've been looking at. And you found one in particular that you think would be the perfect location if you could get approval for it for your restaurant. What makes it the perfect spot in Arricia?
Oh man, this location is fantastic.
It has everything.
It has everything.
Sorry, I mean to jump on that.
Hell yeah. No, desired effect. Awesome. So it has a great view of the terraced olive groves. It has like excellent access to like a well, and it has a courtyard in front of it where you can set up tables and so on and so forth, which like is a common area. So you'd have to, negotiate with your neighboring businesses and stuff like that to make sure everyone's happy and you're not stepping on anyone's toes. But there's room for outdoor seating. There is a second floor, which makes great storage room. There's access to a nearby well. The view is just gorgeous. And since it was a restaurant previously, it's already like turnkey, basically, with like a lot of the equipment and so forth inside that you can make use of.
Door is big enough for bears for some reason.
I love it. I love that.
Yeah, I want to say that the second floor is not like a full second floor. It's like a loft type of situation. So it has this really high ceilings, where it's a 2-story ceiling sort of sitch with a like a terrace loft on the inside.
Cool.
So upstairs would mostly be storage and stuff like that. So the whole first floor could just be kitchen and seating. And,
All right. So you found this wonderful location. All that's left to do is to attend the city business meeting, basically, that happen every week to plead your case for getting approval for your restaurant.
I'm scared.
Just picturing some giant bear in an apron, like stepping up to the mic at the city council meeting with his notes.
Noodles, please.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the council.
Noodles and more.
Time.
Esteemed members of the council. There's like, I think something posted on the door, available for inquiries.
Yeah.
Go here at this date and time, etc.
Yep.
Nice.
Right.
So yeah, you can take the little like post with you if you want to.
Yeah.
Little strip from the
Yeah.
bottom. Take one.
You tear off
I'm
the little
picturing
tab,
a little
yeah.
the bare fingers like
Yeah.
pulling the
And
parchment.
it pulls like 5 of them.
Yeah. Oh, oops.
Ooh, sorry.
You're like licking them, trying to stick them back on.
Oh.
All
Love
right.
it.
Desiree,
Oh no.
you are at breakfast with your parents.
Mhm.
Tell me a little bit. I mean, I know your parents are the nobility of the city of Arricia. Tell me a little bit about them and how are they? What do you think of them? What's their relationship with each other? How do they work together?
Yeah. Well, okay. So my parents are the Duke and Duchess of Arricia. They're the House of Anda. They have been overseeing this area for some time, a couple generations actually. So probably about at least 4 generations have been of Andas have been overseeing this place. So we have a lot of pride and a lot of good working relationships with the townspeople. So yeah, so my father is he's the Duke. I can't think of a name. Probably like Federico or something.
Mm-hmm.
And
Everyone just calls him the Duke.
the Duke.
Yeah.
The Duke.
But yes, the Duke. And yes, so Federico, he is he's very well loved. Just think like Oscar Isaacs. Everyone loves him.
So very well loved.
And
Like, hello, Daddy. I mean, Duke. I've showed up to this business meeting to request a restaurant.
Duke Zaddy.
He's a zaddy Duke, but he's super nice. Everyone loves him. He's a good sense of humor. He's very accepting of all beings and peoples coming through Arricia, and he is very like he'll allow bear people into the town, which I think is pretty
pretty nice of him.
Yeah, it's very inclusive. And
Despite the property damage that
doesn't matter, it's all good. He's okay with the random kitsune showing up too. So he's like unflappable, very charismatic and charming. Mm-hmm. And so the Duchess, so she's his wife, and that's my mom, and her name is let's see here, how about Violetta. And she is, as much as he's like the sun, she's like the moon, right? So she's very cool. She's very calm, or he might get a little excited about stuff and kind of get carried away. I'm picturing like a Morticia Gomez kind of situation where, she's very cool, very kind, and she is very, she has her own interests. Oh my God. There's like a whole library in one of our the estate, right? So but she oversees it, and she's very smart, and she is knowledgeable in like so many different disciplines, and she also encourages the townspeople to like have these little libraries throughout the town. And so she's very much like she complements the Duke's personality. So they're a very complementary couple. And so I'm the only child, so no pressure, of course.
Right.
I'm the only child, and so I'm the heir to this house. And so while there is some pressure on me to maintain the house, there's still some flexibility in terms of what that looks like. And there's also been discussions. Wait, so you asked about the relationship. So yeah, so the relationship is a good one. Again, they complement each other's personalities very well. And they, if somebody's upset that day, the other one is usually calm down, it's okay, that kind of stuff. So,
yeah. So I think what you were getting into is kind of your relationship with the family. So
yes.
Go ahead and talk a little bit about how you interact with like sort of the running of the city, or if you do at all, kind of because that pressure can manifest in different ways. But
it can, yeah. So my dad has trained me a lot in fighting. So my appearance is, so I was born like female, I guess, but I'm very fluid in how I present myself. So there's some instances where I might have on my like more of like a lady outfit, and there's other times where I'm going to have more of like the Lord outfit on, like depending on what I want any given day. So it just depends on how I'm feeling. So I sort of can be flexible in that way, and I can do like the etiquette things when I need to, and then I can do the like fighting things when I want to, back and forth. So there's a bit of that flexibility there. There's no pressure on me to choose either one. It's just whichever one is needed for the day. And so in that sense, like my flexibility in my house is to be exactly whatever's required in that moment. And I think that my parents appreciate that. So they they do dote on me a little bit. Obviously, I'm a little spoiled because I'm part of this like higher ranking family, and so I'm their only child. And so yeah, so I'm kind of tall and a little gangly, but not so much so. So I'm like in my early 20s, and so my parents. So my parents, in terms of their hair and everything, I probably resemble some other, relative way back when, because I don't really look like either of them very much. But when I've looked at pictures because of course there's a whole gallery of like our family. So whenever I've seen, I'm like, oh, so there's like some distant relative that I do kind of look like, that has like lighter hair, green eyes, and kind of, more on the fair side. They're a little bit more, their skin is a little darker, but for whatever reason, like just the way the dice rolled out, it was just like, oh, okay, this is what happened with all the recessive genes.
Yeah.
So that happened. And so right. So in terms of what I'm able to do, like I do concern myself with some of the families, overseeing things. So like city meetings, different things like that, I'm required to attend, to learn, to be there. And in case my father can't be there, my mother can't be there for whatever reason, then I'm there in their stead, and I'm there to make some type of ruling. That's only been a recent development. Like basically once I turn 21, then I have the responsibility that if they're not able to be there, then I need to make a decision. And there's been a lot of talk with them about water in the city and the concerns about that. So my mother has been off doing a lot of research on like, why is this happening right now and what is going on? My father's been working with some of the like town elders to like determine what's going to be the most equitable way to like make sure everybody has enough food and has enough to drink, and using resources. And they really haven't had to do that as much. This is like a new condition in the town.
Yep.
Does that answer your question?
Yes. No,
Okay.
that's perfect. So yeah, you're sitting at this breakfast table, and you will be able to make our second roll of the day for your condition check. Since you are in fine furnishings and have access to fine food, you will have a +2 on your roll this morning. But again, just a reminder, condition check is strength and spirit are your dice.
Okay, strength and spirit. So my spirit's a 4, and my strength is a 6. So let's see what happens. Oh my god. I haven't rolled dice in a while. Like
No.
oh,
welcome back.
and it
Dice.
shows. Okay, so
Oh my god.
my strength was a 2
Uh-huh.
and my spirit is a 3.
Okay. So 5 plus the
2
2
is a 7.
brings you to 7,
Okay.
which, just so you know, is the difficulty level required for today because
Oh
it
my
is
God.
hot here in Arricia.
No.
True.
So you didn't
real.
fail, so you're fine,
Yay.
but you're not as comfortable, as well rested as you think you would normally be this time of year. We're kind of getting into the later part of the summer where
Mhm.
you can have hot days, but things do usually start to cool down. You kind of go into a little bit of a monsoon season
Mhm.
where the rains would
Mhm.
normally be here to cool things down in the afternoon, and they are not.
No. Yeah.
So yeah, not quite as comfortable as you would normally be.
Okay.
But yeah, and so you're sitting at the breakfast table. Is your jackalope with you?
Yeah, so I have this baby jackalope under, see, I have this jackalope and its abilities, description, etc. is cute and baby. So that's all I have for it.
Oh my god.
Relatable.
So yeah, so it's this little, like, little tan, floofy jackalope, little brown eyes. It looks like a rabbit, but has these 2 little antlers that are like cropping up, little horn buds at the top of its head. So it's not like full grown jackalope yet. So it's still like very round and ball like, but has these 2 little horns, and it loves to eat. Like, it'll eat everything. So it's very, jackalopes in my mind are omnivorous. So they'll eat anything.
Yeah.
Like, they'll eat little mammals. They're not
They're
really
little trash
discriminatory.
cans. Yeah.
They're kind of
Okay.
like raccoons in that way. Yeah. So they'll just munch on
Mhm.
anything, but they don't, they have rabbit hands and feet, so they can't like manipulate things, but
Right.
they'll, like, if they can chomp onto something, they'll get it, or they'll
Yeah.
gore something
Yeah,
eventually.
they can antler the
That's right.
crap out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your jackalope's name?
That's a great question. I was just getting there. It is,
Thanks for asking.
yeah.
I'm glad you asked.
I haven't been in this position in a while. All right.
It's easy to
okay.
ask questions, isn't it?
All right. You know what? No, it's not actually
easy to ask good questions.
It's not easy to ask
That's
good
true.
ones.
Yes.
That's true.
So I was just looking around the room. So the jackalope's name is Elvira.
Oh my god.
And
Jackalope's name is Poster Kitten.
just happens to be on the walls.
Yeah.
So the jackalope's name is Elvira.
Yep.
And let me just double check the meaning of that name. Let me see here if it fits. But I love it because
And
it's so
me,
little. It's so little and baby.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, okay. So Elvira means white and fair in Spanish. So so maybe
there you
it's not. It's a white. It's like a white ball rabbit.
Mhm.
It's a little fuzzy, floofy, and has little tufts that are coming in, and the antlers are like a dark, like a gold, kind of color, and yeah, little dark eyes. So it's not like an albino white. It's just like a white. So that's why I named it Elvira.
All right.
Yeah.
So you are eating your breakfast of, slightly sweetened, sort of dense cakes with raspberries that come from the neighboring
Ooh,
region.
Nice.
And you're kind of snap back into your parents' conversation when your mother says, Elvira, no paws on the table, as like Elvira's trying to sneak your raspberries
No.
off your cakes.
So I'll just like move her away. And,
Yeah.
like, there's like a little, she has like this little mini, it's not like a cage, but it's like a little pen that's set up in the room. And so I can just like pop her in there with her water and little pellets and stuff. They do make pellets there. So
Yeah, of course they do. Yeah. It's a
oh my God.
well-rounded pellet.
I'm thinking I'm gonna have to
jackalopes.
get exactly. I'm thinking I'm gonna maybe have to get a little like collar, like a little bell on it, so I know where she is all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But your parents are talking about the city business meeting that's going to be happening today.
oh
Your father seems more worried than normal. He's saying that like things are really coming to a head with the rains not returning more and more farmers are petitioning to see what actions we are actually going to take to figure out what's going on and help the city. I'm having to halt all business. I'm putting up posters to ask for travelers to help us investigate this. I don't know what else to do, but I'm sure today's meeting will not go well.
Well, I'll go with you. I mean, I can support you, Father. Like I can be there.
That
would
is
help.
A great comfort to me. Honestly, I think the more of a united face we can provide to provide comfort to the people, but we'll have to figure out something we can actually do soon. It doesn't look like the rains are returning.
So I look to my mother and I say, I thought you were looking up some different, like the history of this place and other things we could access.
Yes, I think there's a lot that we can offer as far as what our next steps will be. I can set up meetings with some of the local weather tellers to see if they have more insight. But I think ultimately we'll need to make an expedition out to check on our terrain dragon because something's wrong.
I can do that.
Well, we don't want it to endanger our only child with such a mission. We'll see how the meeting goes and go from there.
So I get annoyed, but I think I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna go and find that out.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Sorry, when you were saying what the Duke was saying, I was just thinking of Oscar Isaac saying this stuff, and I can totally believe it. It's like, he's the dad. He's the dad. I mean, I know, like, he's like our age, or at least, I mean, but still, it's like he has that like paternal energy that's like, and it's archetypal.
Really, it has that like, well-kept beard. Right
now.
Totally.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Meanwhile,
oh my gosh,
David.
Yes.
As a minstrel, I mean, you were kind of thrust into this world. Are you actually a working minstrel right now when you're in towns? How do you pay your way through your travels?
Yeah, I'm a busker.
Nice.
So I was actually kind of picturing when Akhenet was looking at that flyer and clumsily tearing off the, the tabs or whatever, like in the city square, like in the distance, sort of panning over. I'm like sitting on like maybe like a rain barrel or something, just in this very sort of relaxed position, but just playing my flute, as the music's drifting across the square.
Empty rain barrel.
The empty rain barrel, exactly.
It's very teetery because there's no
exactly.
way.
Well, that's the thing. It's weirdly, you'd think it would topple over, but I'm just perched on it.
So dexterous.
Yes. And of course, I'm playing an appropriate song called "A Picture of the City." So
nice. Funny that you say that. So minstrels can play their music by rolling Dex and Spirit. So I'll need you to go ahead and do that just to see how well your busking's been going.
Okay. Oh, okay. I rolled a 1 on the D6 and an 8 on the D8. So,
okay.
So the 8 is my spirit and the D6 my dex. So that's a 9 altogether.
Okay. So, I mean, you do well. Maybe because you found yourself perched near one of the only places reliably offering food at this time. So it's relatively busy. But I see that most of that came from your spirit rather than your dexterity. Do you think that perhaps you're affected by this weather? Maybe a little uncomfortable?
Hot.
Definitely uncomfortable. I would much rather be, napping inside a den somewhere out in the woods, 67 degrees, 24 hours a day.
Wait, this is your character? Is you? Like,
who says we have to be any different? Yeah, exactly. We all wanted the same.
David's just a fox who wants to be comfortable, okay?
Like,
God.
I should have known that by now.
Yeah, come on, jeez.
I'm surprised you didn't know that.
All right. So you've definitely attracted a good bit of business while you're here. So I will say that you've earned quite a bit of gold over the last day or so.
Really?
You've earned 100 gold.
Oh,
What?
shit. Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yep.
Excellent.
And
Let's see. Let's see.
and obviously enough to afford your own room. Maybe even a place with a little bit of evaporative cooling happening to help
Lord.
keep you comfortable.
Yes.
And so on this new day, why don't you go ahead and make your condition
Oh
check,
my God.
which is strength plus spirit. You would have a +1 since you were able to get good furnishings for the night. But I know you also, I think, have a -1 on this one.
Yes,
Oh
I
my
do.
God.
Thank you for reminding me.
Good job, Rainey.
Uh-huh.
Because of this cursed flute.
Oh my God.
All right. 5 on the spirit, 3 on the strength, comes out to 7 with my -1.
Perfect.
All right.
All right. So there's your condition for the day, which is still adequate. That is a success for the current temperature. So you're still okay. But yeah, but definitely this is not the most comfortable climate you've been in.
No.
Although it seems no climate has been the most comfortable climate you've been in since this whole thing went down. So talk to me a little bit as you travel. What is it that you are seeking?
All right. So really I'm just seeking a way home. On my character sheet here, I under Homeland, I put unknown. Because originally I was not in this form, and I was sort of cast into this form by a mysterious person out in the woods, I guess we could just say, who I feel like is the key to me getting back to, where I was before.
Right.
So, yeah.
Mhm.
So as you are again on this day playing your little heart out, collecting these coins, as the people are getting their dumplings, you see the bear packing up and moving on for the day. And then a little old lady comes by and tacks up a little poster on the wall nearby. And it says, adventurers sought for helping the city and reward gold or a boon.
Oh.
Interesting. So yeah, that definitely catches my eye. And as soon as the little old lady hobbles off, I'll hop down off the bench. My fox companion.
The barrel, you mean?
I mean, sorry, did I say bench? Barrel.
Yeah.
And my fox companion, Aki,
Oh.
comes running after me and hops up onto my shoulder. When I say fox, what I really mean is like this little like fox cub kind of animal,
Is it your baby?
It is my baby.
Oh, I thought maybe like literally your baby, like it's a fox cub. So
no, because it's not like a conventional fox. It's got kind of very like pink fur and and just this kind of weird almost it's almost cat-like. It's like a cat fox, really.
I'm picturing that the jackalope and this cat fox are gonna like either be adorable together and enjoy each other's company, or just be constantly like trying to get the most attention out of any.
Just remind you that my fox has a bad attitude, so I think the latter for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Jackalope is cute and baby.
Yeah.
And fox is bad attitude.
Clever and bad attitude.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Boo.
So I'll slide the flute up into my sleeve, and from the other sleeve withdraw a 3-foot long pipe that, by all right should not fit up there, but somehow, out it goes. And as I'm contemplating this flyer, I'll, light it up, take some puffs off of it.
Yeah. So as the smoke trails up from your gigantic pipe, which I guess you could just put in the face of anyone nearby, even if they're not close to you, just out of spite. No, you see that it looks like the city is in need for someone quick-witted and adventurous to help them resolve the issues with understanding where the rain has gone. And there is an offer of much gold or a favor from the noble house in exchange for assistance.
Okay. Does it say where to go?
Yes. It looks like there is a city business meeting that will be held today.
Yay!
to assess whom may be able to assist the noble family in this matter.
Excellent. So in the manner of people in 80s movies who would go to a payphone to look up a number and just tear the whole ass page out of the phone book, which always bothered me, I will just tear down the notice, fold it up, stick it in my belt,
Awesome.
walk off, saunter off.
You see as you're walking away, like a little like lizard person come over to check the day's notices and go, guess there's nothing new, and like walk off.
Yes, I love that. That's so good. Wait, I'm curious, David, did you describe how you look and like what you're wearing and like all that kind of stuff yet, or no?
I did not. I have not described my
I don't know if it's the right time, but
no, go for it. Yeah, as you're sashaying your way to the business meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. As the smoke trails after me. So
what does the smoke like? What are you smoking? Like, what does it smell like?
I think it is tobacco for sure, but it's a really fine tobacco. It's that kind of sort of little sweet smelling, very finely grated, and yeah, it's trailing off in my wake as my voluminous what's beyond non-tuple? Is that 9? Is that the one more than octuple?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure.
My non-tuple tail swishes the smoke away. So yeah, 9 gigantic white foxtails, sort of peacocking out from my my derriere.
What?
But
wow.
So I definitely have a hole in my pants as well.
Yes.
Correct.
My God.
Which is fine.
Right.
Which is fine.
I'm not judging. I'm just amazed.
Because they're very wide-bottomed hakama pants, right? Over a long-sleeved kimono.
Okay.
The pants are red. The kimono is white with red hemming and sort of tracery on it. Hair white. Pair of white fox ears protruding from underneath. Female presenting, I guess, you could say. More so than Mercedes, probably. But not identified.
What color are your eyes? What kind of eyes do you have?
Ooh, that is a good question. They are gold.
Oh. What's your skin color like tone or?
Just overall very pale. So like white hair, white tails, white ears, and very pale skin. In spite of the sun.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mercedes, when your family arrives, at the chambers used for city business, you can see there's quite a crowd, more so than you would normally expect for a business meeting. But this is in line with what your father was saying about people being very concerned about what's going on. And you can see in the crowd the typical folk that you associate with the city, what about the kind of typical dress of your city helps you identify people from here versus people not from the city?
Yeah, I would say generally the overall, like, in terms of harvesting, like cotton and other materials for clothes, like it's generally like very loosely woven. You know, it's a warmer climate, so most of just like kind of like ivory and you know, just maybe like very light tan kind of clothes overall. Just depending on what you do, like you're probably going to have access to those fabrics to make clothes with. And the color, there's a lot of marigolds too, so they use those for dyeing. So there's always like this kind of gold throughout, like sashes or accents to things will like be, the fabric will be dyed with like this gold and yellow. I don't know if that's possible, but it sounds cool.
Sounds great.
Let's see.
Who cares about what's possible?
Me. So yeah, so that's generally what people would be wearing in garments. Those are the usual garments that are manufactured in the town.
Okay. So definitely these, you know, fine, like embroidered reds of a maybe less than summer weight, like more than summer weight kimono.
Yeah.
And you know, Santiago, what colors does Akane wear?
Let's see. Well, he started off with like wool and leather when he set out from his homeland, but as he progressed into the hotter, more arid lowland areas, he probably traded and so forth for lighter linens and whatnot, and packed away the woolens in the old backpack, I'd say.
Okay.
So now the linens are, you know, nothing really fancy. So it's mostly a lot of you know, natural linen fiber type of color. So a very light stone colored khaki and most of the stuff like that. And let's see, maybe one article of clothing that's like a splash of color, you know. So I think like if there's he managed to get like a really rich pair of like indigo blue trousers, which are just like your jammy pants, basically.
The old jammy pants with a tail hole. Yeah.
With a tail hole.
With the tail hole, yeah. And they're like gathered at the ankle. And he's probably wearing sandals that let his toes and claws poke out, you know. And but otherwise it's probably just a stone colored sleeveless button front shirt with no collar. And
I love the idea that they're like Geta sandals, so you're like clink clunk click clack click clack on the cobblestones.
These big bare feet.
Yeah.
At 4 inches. I'm insecure about my height because I'm
right, because you're just an average size bear.
Sure, why not? I think that's about it.
All right. So you squeeze your way into this very packed hall, and the Duke opens business, and he says, "I know why all of you are here. We hear you, and we have a plan. We have a way to really start to look into this, but we need help." And there's like, you know, the rabble noise from all the folk there, you know, farmers carrying these woven baskets full of like wilted vegetation, undersized roots of plants and things like that. saying things about like, if the rains never return, Arricia is nothing, things like that. And, your mother's kind of doing the like calm down gesture to everybody. And the Duke says, I swear that no new business will be handled or approved until this issue is resolved.
Uh-oh.
I have been having our folk put up posters. We require the help of adventurers, of travelers, of people whose hearts belong to this city to help us complete these tasks in order to bring Arricia back to its normal glory and ability.
It's like a ripple of murmurs among the crowd in this section where, the flyer that Ren stole was from. Like, were you aware of this? I wasn't aware of this. Did you hear? I didn't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen any posters.
I just came here to talk about my utility bills.
Yeah.
Is that why you came here? No, I only came here because it was just this ripple of conversation.
No, it's interesting that you say that because you do hear the farmers like, murmuring approvingly, but also in a sense of, but not me though.
Yeah.
They want something done, but you don't see a lot of people stepping forward.
A bunch of NIMBYs in this meeting.
And I'm kind of like, I'm seeing this happen and I'm feeling annoyed. Like, so my brow froze handsomely as I'm observing the lack of heart. And I stand up and I slam my hand on the table and I say, I will go. I will lead this expedition. Who's with me?
All right, Mercedes.
Yeah, so I am wearing, just really quickly, I'm like wearing I'm wearing more of like the kind of like garb of like the like noble garb, So we have like our green like house color, right? And so it's like this beautiful green kind of robe that's over like what probably looks like a tank top, and then like these tight pants. And I have my rapier in my belt, and my hair is short, long on the top, short in the back, and I'm wearing my amulet that I always have. It's one of my personal items. It's a sapphire amulet around my neck with a silver chain, and I have like a gold earring, and like, so I think I look like a badass, and so and so my height, like I am taller than my dad, so I'm like probably around 5'11", and I am, and so that's when I stand up and I say, I take after my mother, she's the tall one, and I say, I will lead this expedition. Like, who's with me, right?
Yeah. So nobles have an etiquette ability that kind of determines like the impression that you leave on the folks. And right now, just so I can get a feel for your parents' reaction to this, why don't you make an etiquette roll? That's your dex plus int.
It sure is. So that's 2d8s. And I'm scared.
Maybe we'll learn about fumbles or criticals. Doodly-doo.
Rolling it up. Okay. A 5 and a 2. And that's a 7. And
not bad,
yes,
not bad.
I'm looking at any other things. Yeah, so 7.
Right. So a 7 is good. That means you're successful at something that would be considered a bit difficult.
Yeah.
And we've established your relationship with your parents is good, but they didn't seem very keen on you endangering yourself for this adventure.
Yeah.
So your father, being the more reactive one, you can see his face immediately sort of be like,
yeah.
And your mother looks at you and says, as you can see, our own family will be leading the charge, but certainly you would not let Mercedes go alone to do this. There are rewards. Certainly the noble family can offer much to any who would assist on this venture. Is anyone brave enough.
Brave enough. I'll stand up.
Clack, 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 clack.
I want to clarify a few things.
What?
Yeah.
And I'll raise one large, big clawed finger in there. Beg pardon, Your Excellency, but did you say that all new business is to be suspended pending resolution of this matter?
Certainly, while our folk in this city are so affected, we cannot allow any new business, new projects of any kind to be approved while people are suffering.
I see. And you did say that this endeavor comes with great reward as well. What are the particulars of that arrangement?
Did you have something in mind?
In a nutshell, well, my problem is twofold, Your Excellency. One, I need to lease a building to open my new restaurant. This seems at odds with the ban on new business. But also, I imagine it will be quite expensive, and I would be able to launch my business with much more fervor were I be able to focus my resources less on letting the property and more on quality ingredients and staff. So, if I could obtain favorable lease conditions for long time generations and similar, the details to be worked out, of course, at a later date, that would be quite a substantial reward. I have a property in mind, in fact.
Okay. Negotiation, which they do describe as increasing your business opportunities,
Yeah.
is int and spirit.
Ooh.
Hooray. All right. This brings up a very interesting question because my int is 6. I know how to do that. My spirit with a +1 today is a 5. So I just roll like a
so
D4
it increases
and
by
just add
one
a
die
1.
size. So if you were at a D4, it's now
Yeah.
at a D6 when you increase it by 1.
Nice.
It increases by 1 die size.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I'm like, how do I roll a D5? Like, I don't know how to do that. I'm sure there's all kinds of tips and tricks. So roll a D10 and leave it on or whatever the hell. Like,
Tips and tricks. Game
Well,
masters
you-
hate him.
Yeah.
fancy pants people. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I'm rolling 2d6 then.
Yes.
You got it. Yes. You got
How
it.
I do.
You got it.
All right,
Yeah,
here
yeah,
we
yeah.
Do
go.
it. Let's do it. Roll it up.
Okay. Double
This is an easy
4s,
roll.
baby.
What'd you say?
The
Double-
hard way.
Double
Yeah.
4s?
Fours.
Double
Yeah.
4s.
Okay.
I didn't
All right.
designate a die for each stat though, since they were the same. I didn't think to do that. But
No, it's fine. You don't need to. As long as we know what
Fortuitous,
the
they
results of each die, you're fine. So yes. All right. And the Duchess, you can see that she's sizing you up, looking at all 9 feet of you, not in a
Ooh.
sexy way.
Oh.
And because kind of like looking at Mercedes, who's like, I'm going out into the wasteland. And then the person who says forward is this giant bear. And she's like, yes, please.
Yeah,
Please
exactly.
go.
I
Help-
approve of this.
help my
choice.
child.
Yeah.
And the Duchess says, if you are able to assist in the resolution of this issue, I will personally finance the opening of your restaurant in Arricia.
Damn.
Ooh.
And my lord, your excellency, if I may help influence favorable lease negotiation terms by pushing my luck. Just raises
It
an
seems
Oscar
like the Duchess.
Isaacian
Yeah.
Well,
eyebrow
it seems
at
like the
me.
Duchess has. Okay, so wait, I didn't cast my mom.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Okay, so let's make her. What do y'all think?
You did kind of note they have Gomez and Morticia vibes. So you could just go with that casting too.
Oh, like just
Like for
Angelica
her.
Houston. Houston
Oh,
for
there
the
you
mom.
go.
Okay, that's
Especially because
perfect.
you said you kind of take after like tallness wise and everything. She like strikes in a figure.
She does.
Yeah.
So I mean, she's the one who's saying, I will personally, I think Pop's still just like, what the fuck's happening? I think his beard is like bristling because he can't believe
it's
like
more gray the more you say you're gonna handle this adventure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So sorry, I just wanted to cast her just so that it was clear like she's there. Okay.
So the Duchess, who looks just like Angelica Houston, has just told you, Akane, that she will bankroll your restaurant if you assist.
Well, all right then. I mean, I suppose that is. Suppose that'll have to do.
I guess.
Fine.
Fine.
But
all right.
And you know, the Duke looks back out on the crowd. The two is there no one else? Anyone with experience at a personal favor? I will owe you anything.
Ooh.
So one thing I didn't mention is that I am very small, like not even hitting 5 feet. You know,
what?
Like
Nice.
4'10" at best.
Oh my god!
I'm perfectly proportional.
Yeah.
So if you saw me like outside of the context of anyone standing,
if there's
near
no
me,
context for how big you are, like out in a field, they're like, "Wow, hey, that's a very normal person,
right?
with tails,
with tails.
With 9 tails."
And so you said the hall's all crowded, so
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure they're like crowded up around like maybe a 5-foot radius around the, you know, the central table or wherever it is that the, you know, the Duke and his retinue are, you know, arranged around. So so basically amongst all these people crowded into the hall, suddenly there's like you know, as they're like kind of like getting goosed basically, as something is like moving through them like a shark, and then from out amongst this, you know, sea of legs, this, you know, wee little creature emerges.
I like as well, especially since your little Fae Fox has such a bad attitude, just like little like nips to butts as you're trying to move through as well.
Totally.
And so it's just like from the table you see these like people like shifting out of the way.
I was definitely poking people with the mouthpiece end of my pipe, like in the back of their knees and their calves and stuff, you know, just to get them to like jump out of the way.
Yes.
And so I emerge, you know, take a little puff on the pipe and then throw the flyer down at the Duke's feet and say, "Let's talk terms."
Certainly, fair Kitsune, welcome to Arricia. What reward would be required to have you assist us in this very necessary task?
I require the services of your most talented glass blowers and mirror makers in the repair of this mirror. And I produce a cracked hand mirror and set it on the table.
Glasswork such as this, although it's not done locally, I do know of the folk who could do this. And if you help us, I will make sure the repair is made and materials procured if necessary.
Very well. Then I shall join this expedition.
Mercedes, you note how, I mean, your father seems relieved that some people who seem capable have stepped forward, but he shares your disappointment for the lack of the folk of this city stepping up to do anything.
Yeah. Oof, it's not great. So I'll look at him and I can see that he's disturbed.
Right.
And I will say, I hope that our travels will help the rest of this town. And I hope that you will also understand that the fact that these outsiders to our lands have stepped up to help us, and that maybe you should think about being a little bit more keen to assist your neighbors in the future. And I'll sit down, glowering.
Your mother dismisses the general folk who attend the meeting, asking only this group of adventurers to stay so that she may discuss next steps. And people do look a little sheepish after what you said as they file out with their wilty kale and stuff like that. The saddest of food.
The saddest kale ever. Yeah.
And yes, and she says, well, my research into this issue has provided us with a few options that you could choose to pursue, all of them local. Until we know otherwise, I see no reason to travel over far to resolve this. I'm sure this is something we can figure out in a day or two.
Right.
And with that, our first turning point, we can go ahead and take a little 5-minute break and come back to it.
At 8.
Please.
Yay.
Resume. All right. So the Duchess, Violetta, kind of gestures for the two of you who volunteered, for Aknet and for Ren, to approach the table to discuss potential next steps. AKA, welcome to the game. So here are some ideas about what you can do, since you may not be familiar. Always have to have one of those.
Yeah.
She says, first, I thank you again. It's unfortunate that we had to even ask anyone else to step in to solve our problems, but this has gone beyond the scope of what we understand. And so our first steps are really just knowing what's happening. We can't make a plan to solve it until we can get to the bottom of the cause. We know that the rain dragons are gone, or at least they are not here when we expect them to be. I've done some looking into this. I've talked to some people, but I think there are a few options for how to dig into this. Within the city walls, obviously we do have a number of weather tellers. There's one in particular who tends to be quite accurate. I think enlisting their services to see what they see of rain may be helpful. It's not something I'm necessarily very good at, but there are certainly other people in the city who may know more about this than we do. Not to imply that anyone has nefarious desires or plans, but certainly there may be rumors of what's happening. And then locally, but not within the city, certainly it may be worth going to see our terrain dragon itself. If the rain isn't here, there may be something amiss with our dragon. And no one has laid eyes on it recently to investigate if that is the case. But obviously, the choice is yours. This is your task, your journey, and we appreciate anything you're willing to do to figure this out.
Well, so I'm looking at both of these two beings and so I look at the bear folk and I say, what's your name and what can you bring on this journey?
I will step forward and bow deeply and respectfully to the dais where the throne is located and say, Sakai Akanet at your service. as far as what I can bring. And I'll reach into my bag and I'll have a nice and unroll like a banana leaf type of situation with an assortment, like a tasting tray sort of situation of some of my my wares, what I do.
Wow.
This is what I do, Your Excellencies. Just kind of defaulting to that. Don't really have a whole lot of courtly manners or anything like that. But that's how we would address maybe our elders, I guess, at some ceremony. So I'm just kind of falling back on that and hoping for the best. But I guess, I don't know, hand it to a footman or someone like that to take it up the steps and pass it around so you can sample it.
I mean, she did gesture for you to approach, so you
you don't have to
stay
cool,
back. Yeah.
Awesome. Then and then I'll offer it around to, I guess, first to the Duchess, and then the Duke, and lastly the child, the duckling. I don't know.
It's a 22-year-old child. The heir apparent.
The heir apparent, the Dauphin,
David, you would know this more than anybody. Can you help us out? A little help?
I mean, it would depend. I mean,
the child of a...
Yeah, you would have some kind of a title. But it's...
I don't think I've earned it yet. I don't think I've earned it yet.
Okay.
I don't think I've earned it yet. Okay. So yeah, so I'll take a bite of, what is it? So what are these amazing dumplings? Describe them.
Yeah, we have let's say six dumplings. They're all pan fried. None of them are steamed. And because steamed, I don't think would hold up very well as leftovers.
And water is a precious resource.
And also, yes, is easier to come by oil, but they are fowl based dumplings. So a delicate bird meat, but also combined with finely diced vegetables and delicately spiced. The dough is also al dente and springy. Let's see, we also have some roasted seasoned vegetables of local color, and one last thing, something cold and delicious. I want to say a wrapped cheese of some kind, wrapped with something, both meaty and vegetable assortment to cater to various dietary requirements. And I think that's about it. And I'd place it on a handy nearby table before offering everyone. And before that, I would say, but first, the pièce de résistance. And from a strap over my shoulder, just like a cord, nothing fancy.
Yeah.
I have a gourd attached to it. And I pull a cork out and leave it just the tiniest drop of soy sauce on. Well, you don't necessarily know it's soy sauce. It's this black, very aromatic sauce onto, and thin, very thin sauce, watery in consistency on each dumpling and over the and that's it, actually, just on the dumplings.
All right,
before
so
delicately corking it again and tamping it down with the thumb, stashing it back to my side, and then please sample my wares that you might see what I'm capable of.
all right, so I will try one. And
As you are reaching for whatever morsel you're reaching for, a little pink fox darts across the banana leaf and snatches it away from you. And
Me?
Then, and then goes running back and sort of goes up like a squirrel around my pants, up, and then up onto my shoulder, and I just take it from him and pop it in my mouth, all while maintaining eye contact with you.
Oh, you're gonna assert your dominance.
Oh my god.
I do hope that this confrontation is diffused by the delicious unctuousness of the morsel you have just tasted.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can decide how delicious they are.
I'm
Since
curious.
you said you use local ingredients, which makes me think you cooked these recently.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
So
curious.
as an artisan, I know your cooking is strength and dexterity.
Yes.
It does take strength.
It takes a village. Okay, let's try the best here. Now, the difficulty check for crafting food varies based on how much you're making. Quantity,
We're
right?
just rolling to see how delicious they
tasty.
turned out.
Mhm.
So we're not doing like a full-on
okay.
crafting check for like amounts that you're making and all that stuff. So
We're just trying for a high roll here to make sure they're delicious. Okay, God, come on, baby. My reputation's on the line. All right. Okay, a 7 on my strength and a 4 on my dex.
Nice.
All right.
So a total of 11.
Cool.
Yeah. These are executed in a manner that shows quite a high level of skill. So this food is quite impressive, not simple street food that you might have expected from one operating a pop-up illegally in the town square.
Right. Yeah. No permit. So Ren, I don't know your name yet. So I'll say, so are you eating this? What are you thinking about this?
So I was maintaining eye contact with you, but as soon as I started chewing this dainty, I couldn't help but look over to the chef and like give this courteous nod, like, well done.
All right, so I'm gonna try again to reach for a dumpling.
Dope. This time.
Dope. And so I'm gonna reach for one of the duck ones, I think, without knowing, and I will eat it, and my eyebrows raise in approval, like, wow, this is. So I look at my mom and I say, this is really good. You need to try them.
Yep. So the Duke and Duchess each take a little morsel as well. And the Duke of getting a piece with some of that good soy sauce on it is like,
yeah,
mommy.
God.
And the Duchess says, the craftsmanship that goes into this is quite impressive. And I think people often overlook the necessity of nourishing and comforting food on a journey. I'm sure you will bring a lot to this team, this group of travelers.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Another deep bow.
So I'm looking at this Ren figure. What's your name? And what do you bring to this trip?
Swallowing the last bit of the dumpling.
Damn it.
I step forward and I say, I am Ren Miko. I am a traveler of great experience, and I will lead you both across the wastes until we find what you seek.
You're just a seasoned traveler.
Just a seasoned traveler. I see you haven't traveled much.
Spicy.
I know. Well, I see you haven't been civilized very much because your animal took the item that I was wanting to try from our friendly chef here. So maybe you need to spend more time in the town.
I spend as little time in these towns as possible. I don't want to become too much like you humans.
What are you?
Rude.
It's like should I begin like some elaborate, transformation sequence, like background
Ooh.
music, background animation. So I just say, perhaps you'll get a chance to get to know me a little better during our journey. But for now, and I pull out my cursed flute, and
Why do you say that every time?
I want to make it abundantly clear.
Yeah.
It's what it do. Let's see. What song shall I perform for everybody to?
I love the idea that you reach to pull out your flute and all of the guards are like rattle, rattle, like leveling of halberds and stuff. Because, right, exactly.
Yeah, just
and
hand
then you're
into
just like
sleeve.
Just a flute, boys. Settle down.
Just a cursed flute.
Just a cursed flute. Yeah, perhaps there's a slight pause as I see the hands tighten on the shafts of the halberds when I produce the flute, and I can begin to play my song, which is "Kiss of the Dusty Road."
Aw.
Cool.
And hopefully this will inspire folks.
Let's see. I'm curious.
We're hitting the road. So let's see. It was spirit plus dex. Was that
Yes,
it?
dex and spirit.
All right, cool. Oh yeah, I see it right there.
Yeah. I compare you to a kiss from the dusty road.
Yay.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
And in fact, I think I'm going to actually spend 1 HP. If successful, all party members get +1 on their next roll. So I'm going to really inspire the shit out of you with this thing. Hopefully. All right. 6 on the dex and a 4 on the spirit. So not too bad. 10 altogether. Or no, 9 thanks to the curse.
All right. Yes. So it is quite an impressive and evocative song. I think for Akane, it reminds you of your travels here. Like probably brings to mind the scene where you had to trade out, like pack up some of your clothes that you were used to wearing and get your sun cape as you went into the more dusty, dry regions of the realm. And yeah, even for Mercedes, it like almost draws you into like the desire for travel and adventure.
All right. So I nod approvingly and I say, well, since I asked questions of you, do you have any questions of me? We have to trust each other.
Why were you so keen to go on this journey?
This is my duty. This is my job. I need to make sure that our ways can continue and our town can flourish, and that new arrivals such as our bear friend here would be able to add to our way of life. And so that travelers like you also feel welcome.
It is your job to risk your life on behalf of others.
Yes. I say impetuously and stand up.
Hooray!
Yeah, maybe the guards.
All the guards are like, approving.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Fucking, it's like
It's
thinking
hardcore.
about how.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe that's what we all owe each other. Yeah. I would say, however, you do have us at a disadvantage, Excellency, for our names. We don't know you.
Yes. So I would love to do like an amazing kind of like jump onto the table, do like a little somersault, and like break out my rapier and like fight comedically with one of the guards, and and like say my name and my full name, which has like a billion middle names, and
Right,
like
of course.
and then just like show off my rapier skills. So this is what I would like to do. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is not a Sailor Moon moment and I like fall on my ass. So we'll see. Okay. So I would like to use my rapier. This is a mastered weapon.
Okay.
So I would say accuracy has a little bit to do with this.
Sure.
And so this is Dex plus intelligence.
And you can have a +1 since you're using your rapier.
That's right. Oh my God. Okay. I said what I want to do. I usually don't try to do that before I roll, but it's usually not good for me. Oh no. God.
Oh my God.
All right. A 2 and a 4.
Oh, okay.
+1 is 6.
No, that's
I shouldn't
fine.
have said anything.
You are that's a fine. It's not like, wow, Cirque du Soleil level or something. But you don't mess it up.
Okay.
So yeah, you can do what you intend to do.
Okay. But I'm obviously a novice, I'm like still new and still learning. You'd think I'd be a little bit better by now, but I'm not. But anyway, so I leap off the table and like do a little somersault and like, I'm from the house of Anda. I am Mercedes, blah, 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 Anda. And I fight with one of the guards and he fights back and I best him.
Right,
he lets
of
me
course.
win.
Yeah. They're used to this.
Yeah, they are. They're used to me attacking them out of nowhere. So that's who I am. And I hold my rapier and I put it back into my little belt.
The Duke gives like a little.
Yeah. I'm just curious if my possible travel companions are in any way interested in this or find it amusing.
Yeah. Like leading way down to nudge Ren with the elbow. Wouldn't have expected. Wait, what does Mercedes have preferred pronouns or no, not really? Okay.
No.
I wouldn't have expected them to counter with Agrippa.
Oh my God. Nice.
Like someone paid me with a fencing manual one time. Like all I have is this. All right. Reading it by lantern light, and it's all like matchbook size. Hands over this book. Thanks.
So,
I love the transition of sizes when things hand.
Oh yeah,
it's like
totally.
Oh, here's this big like Foster's can, and he's like, "Oh, thank you," and it's one of those like
tiny
little 6-ounce Coke,
V8 little V8 container,
right? Or a big phone book, and he's like, "Oh, cool, thanks," and it's like little tiny book.
Yeah, so I nod in agreement and I say, yes, the youth shows promise.
Oh my God, how old are you?
Literally underage. I put ageless.
Yep.
Wow.
Correct.
Correct.
Oh my God. All right. Okay. So I bow to you both and I say it will be it's imperative that we trust each other as we embark on this trip. So hopefully we can begin this partnership and you will get what you want and our town will be able to accommodate you and everyone who lives here.
Agreed. Thinking of my ancestors of Clan Sakai, who have been cooking delicious food for 16 generations. Like don't want to let them down. Okay.
All right.
So how would you like to start your investigation?
Well, I think I think it might be good to check out like the townsfolk to see what they have to say before we head out. Because as much as I want to go check on that dragon so badly, I still want to like maybe just get a little bit of information. And then like also they can all see that we're doing something about the problem and that, we're not just like letting it pass by. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So
were we told where to seek this dragon? Or we're
For
just
the
going out?
terrain dragon?
Yeah,
I mean, it would be out
right.
in the base. It would probably require some
somewhere out there.
tracking. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we definitely want to ask around them, I think.
And my mom also has some information. So the Duchess also has some information about where the possible locations of the dragon could be.
Yeah, you would definitely have a bonus to tracking it down based on her research. Like she could tell you what sign to look for and everything.
Okay. Yeah. So I think I would talk to her first, like the night before we, like where maybe you all could stay in our estate for the night, and then we can like go into the town and like do some exploring, and depending on how much energy that takes, we could maybe spend the night one more time and then the next morning embark first thing. What do you all think?
Yeah, I'm into it.
As you wish.
All right.
All right. Is there anything that you want to knock out this afternoon/evening before you rest and begin a new day?
I guess maybe we could go out right now and ask folks what they know. Unless it's too hot.
It's cooler this time of day.
Oh, okay.
In the evening.
Yeah.
Since this meeting took all day, as meetings do.
Yeah. They can. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was late afternoon anyway.
Right?
Yeah.
Had your
All
2-hour sparring match with.
All right.
And that's how long it takes you to recite your name. So
that's right. It does take.
It checks out.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Oh, by the way, I confirmed it. So if these are royal dukes and duchess, you would be prince or princess as the eldest and heir. Yeah. However, if it's just a regular duke, then you would have a courtesy title that's like your father's second title, because they always have like multiple titles, right? So he'd be like, duke whatever, and then count whatever, or earl or whatever, or you could also just go with lord or lady so and so, like the name of your house.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
Something to think about. Okay. All right. Well, what say we go to the townspeople and see what they know about this dragon?
All right.
All right. Now gesture to the Duke and Duchess. Eat. Don't let it go to waste.
They're already eating.
It would be incredibly gauche to bag it up. So
right.
You like take your banana leaf, like
and blow it off. Like that's gonna do anything. Like, because it's fresh again now. No.
Right. No.
So as you head into the town to try to gather more information, whether it's about the terrain dragon or anything else involved with this mystery, what is each of your approaches to gathering information?
I know that I'm going to use, let's see. Yeah, so I want to use my refined education. So that's like a double intelligence roll.
Sure.
And I want to like basically just determine like what's being said, and then if it like corroborates with like what my mom has been sharing and that kind of stuff.
Or is there like a private library in your grounds? Like it could be a library use type situation.
Oh yeah. I mean that too. But I mean like it says that I can know detailed information about the things I see or hear.
Oh, see or hear. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I have a similar one called knowledge of traditions.
Oh, okay. All right.
Maybe I'll make the library use roll.
Maybe you should. Yeah, so maybe we'll stop by the library first with my mom and just like get information from her first. Okay, cool. So let's do that first.
Okay. So The Duchess welcomes you into the library, and gestures to like a Beauty and the Beast level of books for you to peruse at your will. So many ladders, so many stories of books.
Yep.
So if the minstrel Wren would like to use your knowledge, you may do so.
I'm going to be looking up everything the library has to say about cloud dragons, rain beings, etc.
Yep.
Etc. And that's
you're
an
using
11.
Whoa!
Oh, dang!
6
You're
and
using
5.
the dice tower, I hear.
Yes, indeed, I am.
Ooh, clickety clack.
All day, every day.
Yeah.
All
Better
right.
than the roll 20.
Yeah, it is.
Your efficiency in like really zeroing in on the information you want amongst this amount of available information is incredibly impressive, and you're able to do it very quickly.
Yeah.
The roll that good. So yeah, it's like, you're like climbing up the ladder, like wheeling across to exactly the right tome and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, since you asked about that specifically, in this region, the terrain dragon is a cliff dragon.
Oh.
And the weather patterns here come from the community of weather dragons that live upon its back, which are a mix of sun dragons, mist dragons, and rain dragons.
Sun, mist, and rain.
Yep.
Okay. That live on the back of the cliff dragon.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Science.
Absolutely.
It's fine. I'm all into it.
Yeah.
It works. Cool.
Yep. Okay.
So we have to locate the cliff dragon, and then
Exactly.
we can look for the rain dragons.
Yes. Here, I can, let's see. Got pictures of all these dudes, I'm sure.
Ooh.
Yep. Yeah, this is what a cliff dragon looks like. Chitile.
Oh, so it is the cliff.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's literally the cliff.
And let's see.
Yeah, exactly.
What is difficulty 0 there? What does that mean?
Difficulty 10, you mean?
Oh, 10.
yeah.
Sorry.
That's the train difficulty normally.
I like how your brain just couldn't accept that it was difficulty 10.
Yeah, like not
It was-
double digits.
It was
much.
so offensive to me that I
Yes. completely
like,
rejected
no,
it.
thank you.
Substituted your own
Not
reality.
about it.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Why is
meant
difficulty
10.
1 0? And why is there no difficulty 2? That's difficulty 10.
Is that binary code? What is that?
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
What does this mean?
Oh, my God.
This number is beyond my reckoning.
Difficulty double rainbow all the way across the sky.
Yeah. And here, I'll show you each of the dragons.
Oh.
So here's a sun dragon.
So yeah, this cliff dragon looks like just basically like almost like a brontosaurus or whatever they're called now, and it's like has a whole like cliff
Like a mountain.
or mountain on its back.
Mountain range.
It's
Yeah.
very
It
cool.
competes
It's like
with a
Turtle
lake.
Island,
And
And a
everything.
lake. Yeah.
a lake.
See, suddenly
and,
that makes sense. That these other
and
dragons
then
live on its
there's
back.
these little baby sun dragon, which is super cute, and it's all spiky.
Mhm.
And then there's a little rain dragon that looks like a snail,
Male dragon.
and it has a mushroom cap for a umbrella and hat. That is so
yeah,
cute.
you gotta accessorize.
Then the mist dragon is like has like little wings, like little bat wings, and it's like has a round head and is very cute.
Its wee little feet.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah, it's
God,
like
it's
a-
adorable.
Turtle head type of head.
It does have a
almost.
turtle head,
Long-
yeah.
That's what I was
long
thinking.
neck.
Of.
Yeah. But no shell, just bat wings. It's cute. These are so cute.
But
Okay.
look at his little feeties.
I know.
I just noticed.
Little
That's
ducky
awesome.
feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little ducky feet. Yeah, that's cool.
All right. Cool. Okay. So I'll turn to my mom and I'll say, we're going to talk to the townspeople. One, so that they know that we're going to embark on this journey. And two, to find out what they know about these dragons, if anything.
I think that's an excellent idea. I would especially look into, especially if they're in town currently, any of the folks who manage herds out in the lands beyond the castle or the city walls. They would know the most about what to look for out there.
Mm.
Okay. So I'll turn to her and I'll say, I won't disappoint you, and I will be safe. You don't have to worry about me.
I believe in you, and I know that you will find this whole endeavor gratifying. I'm so proud of you for taking this on, even if your father is terrified.
Yeah. Well, I remember you telling me when you went on your adventure when you were kind of my age. So it's just a family tradition.
It's true. It's never easy for a parent to see their child go off into anything less than, a visit to a festival in a nearby town. I mean, this is a little bit more involved than that. So I do wish you the best, and please check in with us if you need anything at all.
I will. All right. So I will turn to Akanet and Ren and say, is there anything you want to do before we go into town? And I'll look at that little pink cat fox. Does it have a name? Did you give it a name already?
Yeah. Was it Aki?
Aki.
Oh, Aki. So I'll say, and Aki, does Aki need food or something? Or
Aki manages on his own.
Yeah, I know.
As you saw.
Yeah, he did. All right. So is there anything you need to do, or are you all ready to rock and roll?
I thought we were gonna
Ready to
have
go.
dinner at your place and have an overnight. I could use a soft feather mattress.
Sure. Yeah. No, we will. I thought you were a renowned traveler, though. You're used to road conditions.
I don't enjoy comfort of home.
What is home for you? So we're walking through the halls of the estate.
Mm-hmm. Home for me. That's a good question. I haven't had a home for some time. I say as I roll my flute around in my fingers, regarding it.
Akanet, what do you find? What's home for you?
Get look off into a middle distance and remember home, and a big in breath with a nostalgic sigh. Yes, high among the misty mountains of the region where those mountains are, nestled next to the river is my village of Arricia. And then I'll launch into a vivid description using the bartender talk skill, using the sushi chef skill, where you chat with the customers. Paint a vivid picture of this high mountain village with all of its terraced streets and houses on stilts built into the rocky cliffside next to the river that flows down the side of the mountain, and they have their there's all the poles sunk into the river, traversing it, where they put their traps in for the various fish and so on, and that sort of thing, and the talbot springing from cliff face to cliff face as they're herded by the shepherd, occupy themselves as shepherds and so on. There's a very peaceful, tranquil mountain village setting, and there's always that constant susurration of the river rushing and the wind through the pine needles and all that. Very soothing and common. Nothing like the hustle and bustle and dust and multiple languages of city life, but that has its soothing buzz all its own. Trying to see the positive in that. If only it had burned half down that day.
What
But
burned it down?
there was a fire. Some say Mrs. O'Leary's talbook kicked over a lantern and started the Great Arish fire. But
Oh my gosh.
yes, my restaurant, my family's restaurant, fell victim to the flames. Thankfully, everyone made it out singed, but otherwise unharmed. But we have been cooking there for 16 generations. It kind of puffs up a little bit with pride at that. Producing the finest dishes. And but now we need to relocate. So I am the vanguard of that endeavor, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are. You should come visit sometime. It is beautiful. And the mountain air is beyond compare for one's vigor and health.
I would love to do that. I would love to visit it someday. Hopefully after this quest, and we'll be able to go and check it out. I would love that.
We seldom get visitors off the beaten path as we are, but we welcome all to come visit and stay a while, share their tales, as he might look over at Ren with some significance.
Ooh.
We
All
do
right.
have a theater disused these past years.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm interested. You know, definitely intrigued.
And bears, much like Santiago's, can provide stories long enough to bring you out. Because you were still were you looking to ask around town first, or are you sleeping tonight and do that in the morning?
I think we're gonna ask around town
Okay.
and then go to sleep and then leave. in the
Yeah.
morning.
So by time the explanation of the town, the village of Arricia is done, you find yourself in a quieting down market square.
All right. So we're walking around and just checking out, different places. So I would say the first person that we see, it's maybe some little, we're looking. Oh, I know that there's some of the shepherds and stuff. They'll be bringing their flocks in maybe.
Yeah.
And so I think we should follow those folks and see if we can talk to them.
Right. You can, certainly spot them and give them a chat. So I know you wanted to glean more about what they say, so you're going to use your
I was going to use
education.
refined education. Yeah.
And then Akhenet, while that's happening, I'd like you just to see what you notice. So that'll be a Dex plus Int for your perception.
Dex plus Int.
Yes,
Okay.
but we'll start with our kick-ass dukeling. So you can easily identify the herdsfolk based on your mother's description. And of course, since you did specify you're kind of decked out in your dukely garb with your house color and everything, they certainly recognize you and are willing to speak with you. They seem happy to see you.
Okay, great. So let's see here. I'm rolling double intelligence, 2d8s. Oh, a 7 and a 3.
It's quite good. Pro-level knowledge that you have there. So you're easily able to here's tell me about finding the terrain dragon out there, and you hear they tell you a lot. One, obviously it's becoming harder and harder to find grazing lands for the flock. The ground is starting to dry up. But this does make the giant footprints of the terrain dragon very easy to spot in the cracked dirt of the drying terrain. So they're able to tell you the shape of the footprints, the last place they came across them, because they got lucky enough to find a deep footprint that still had a little bit of water at the bottom, and they stayed there for a while with the herd and everything. And so you feel pretty confident in your ability to assist and tracking down the terrain dragon.
Okay.
All right, bear. Let us
Right.
proceed.
Yes, we've got Dex
Mhm.
and Int. So splendid.
2d6.
Okay, here
Yes.
we go. Right. So 1 on my Dex
Mhm.
and a
Ooh.
4 on my
Okay.
Int.
Ooh.
So got a 5 here. Ooh.
Yeah. It's you didn't.
It's been a
fumble.
long day.
And that's it. That's all that matters. But what you notice, I think maybe it catches your eye because maybe you're looking for Ren, so you're looking down. But instead of seeing Ren, you notice this small cat person with a trench coat going like, anybody want to see these goods?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I love
Thanks.
it. Nice.
Stranger. I've got goods. Because it has wares if you have coin.
Yeah. So there's a shady cat dealer.
Cat dealer. He's dealing
Yeah.
cats.
You don't know what's under that trench coat.
That's
Oh
true.
my god.
That's
Backs towards you right now. You don't have to investigate or anything, but that's all you notice as you're looking around.
Oh my god, I'm so curious.
Yeah, let's find out.
All right, so you go over to see what he's got.
Kind
He's
of
a-
hunker down a little bit, hands on knees.
Mhm.
Tap him on one shoulder.
He's like, you seem like you can do some business.
Oh.
And so he opens up one side of the trench coat. And inside you can see a very wilty looking, sort of overheated mist dragon.
Oh,
Oh.
What the hell?
What?
He's like, 2 coins and it's all yours.
oh my gosh.
wow.
Like, I know I went over there to investigate and I didn't necessarily say anything. Did everybody just kind of come with me, or I stopped. I'm not exactly inconspicuous,
Right.
but
You're
I don't
noticeable.
know.
But yeah, you didn't say anything
I'm
that was
out
nearby, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not next to you, but
I think I would stand up in probably in surprise, if not shock. I'd stand up straight and look left and look right. Is this okay? This doesn't seem okay.
great on a hot day. Hold it up to your neck. Spritzes on you a little. Keeps you cool.
wow.
Horrible. Oh my god.
Mercedes.
Wait, so are we there? Yeah, are we there? Yeah, okay.
Are you aware of this? Is this
So
common in the
I'll
city?
rush up. Yeah, I'll rush up and I'll see it. And I
Thanks a lot, narc.
Yeah.
oh my god. I will run up and I'll say, how did you acquire this mist dragon?
I bought it.
From who?
Legitimate business.
From who?
A raccoon.
Naturally.
Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna throw some coins at him and I'm going to just grab the mist dragon from this person.
Am I in trouble? Because you're very official.
Yeah, and I just my green robe just sort of flounces in their face, and I'll just be like, just no, just give me this mist dragon. It's mine now.
It's the only one I could afford from them. If you're looking for more, I'm sure they have more.
Where's this raccoon?
I met him on my way into town from the west.
From the west. Okay. All right. I'll give him another coin. So raccoon, west. Goddamn raccoons. Selling dragons. Okay. Where are they? So they're on the outskirts of town. Do they have a little stand or a little spot, or are they just traveling away from the town?
I think they were traveling. From out in the coast where they're from.
Okay. Well, all right. Is there anything else that we should know about these raccoons? What kind of temperament are they? What are they like?
Well, I think you might know quite a bit about the raccoon folk. You can certainly roll int and int.
Yeah.
To see what you know about them. Right. Anyone can.
Okay. Hello. Yeah.
If you're familiar.
Right.
I rolled snake eyes, double ones.
Our first fumble.
Oopsie daisy. I rolled. How about a double 8?
Oh, yeah.
Is that the max on your dice?
Yeah, it's two D8s.
This is perfect because right now we're going to learn both about fumbles and critical success.
Yay!
All right.
Nice.
So a fumble, the good thing about a fumble, everyone now has 1 fumble point.
Oh.
Because the whole party gets it if someone fumbles.
Oh.
A fumble point can be spent to concentrate on what you're doing, which gives you a +1, or in Santi's case, because you're technical, a +2.
Ooh.
On your roll, whatever the roll is.
Cool.
So very helpful.
Nice. Okay.
There will be a consequence, however.
Of course.
So, so we'll get to that.
Oh, man.
A critical success happens in 2 ways. One, if you roll double 6s on any dice that are capable of rolling 6s, it's a critical. Or if you roll the maximum on both dice that you're rolling, it's also a critical success.
Yeah.
It doesn't give the party anything special, but it does mean that you're going to get whatever above and beyond what you were trying to do.
Nice.
Okay. And in your case, you know a song all about the raccoon folk.
Ooh.
And you would know that in the song, it talks all about their ongoing kind of feud with the people of Sea Glass, which is a town on the western coast. Not too far from here, probably a few days travel.
Okay. And they're feuding with them.
Yes. They're known for being sneaky. They have a reputation for being a little thievery. And so the renowned artisans of Sea Glass are often at odds with them.
All right.
All those deals.
So lots of good information there. But let's get into our fumble.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. All right. I think our best bet, because it's not like you were physically trying to do something where I think giving you like a status effect is necessary.
Yeah.
Instead, this poor cat is over there like, am I in trouble? And you're getting all mad and stuff about it.
Yeah.
When an animal breaks free from one of the merchants in the area and kind of bowls into you.
Oh no.
Yeah. So let's see. Since Santi, you haven't been able to do anything well, what's a nice medium-sized animal that might knock someone over?
A sheep.
Okay. So yeah, one of the herdsfolk is like talking to their friends and they're like, oh yeah, I just talked to Mercedes, and like lets go of one of the leads, and the sheep's like, and like just bowls into the back of you.
Oh no.
And you tumble and twist your ankle.
Oh no.
Yep.
I was holding that mist dragon as well. I'm scared that I've crushed it. I'm like terrified right now.
So yeah, probably because you've fallen away trying to protect the mist dragon, you end up hurting yourself more.
Yeah. Okay.
And so your for the rest of the day until you are able to rest. So this won't affect you too much, but it was good for us to talk about the effects of fumbles. Your dexterity die is reduced by 1 size.
Okay. All right. So I've fallen, but I'm still holding this mist dragon, which you said looks wilted.
Yeah, it's very like wilty looking, kind of like like it does a little cough and a little like puff of mist comes out.
Oh no. What color is it?
Well, you know that mist dragon should be kind of a bluey gray sort of color. But this one looks more kind of gray and pale than blue.
Oh no. Okay. So I'll be like, oh, my ankle. And so I'm on the ground just holding this mist dragon.
And like the herdsfolk are running around trying to catch this sheep.
Errant sheep.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll look up at Arcanet and like, hey, can you help me up?
Of course. I'll offer a bare hand to help her up.
All right.
My bare hand.
Yep.
You take off your glove.
Yeah. Like, what? So all right, so I'll get up and I'm like, oh, my ankle. Oh no, this isn't good. We got to get back to the estate.
Well, that does look painful. You can lean on me if you need to, and I'll help you walk.
Okay. So I'll look at Ren and I'll say, can you hold this dragon?
Gladly.
Uh-oh. I'm a little suspicious. I kind of like look at you like, So
you said you have to trust each other.
I know, so it's tough. It's more for me than them. All right, so so I'll say, well, the stuff we did find out was mostly about the raccoons selling dragons, apparently, and that the cliff dragon should be easy to find. What do you think? Do you think we should probably like try to see how many dragons these raccoons have and just bring them to the cliff dragon? So I'm holding on to Akanet and I'm like limping along and talking to you both.
So you're basically asking, should we try and find the small dragons first and then the cliff dragon?
Yeah.
I think that's wise. We already have one. How hard can the other two be?
Nice. Well, it doesn't look very healthy. It doesn't look very well, so.
Well, it wouldn't out in the sun.
Yeah, but maybe it could stay here. Maybe we can go check out the raccoons and then bring the dragons here and like get them to be like a little more healthy and then maybe take them to the cliff dragon.
Shrug in agreement. Mm-hmm.
Seems reasonable plan.
It's kind of like you're the leader, so let's do it.
All right. Okay, so we'll make it back to the estate, I hope.
Yes, you can make it back to the estate.
Okay.
As the two of you like, turn towards the estate and go on ahead, I, sort of take a surreptitious look in either direction and then hold the mist dragon up and squeeze its neck to give it a little spritz,
Yeah. It's very refreshing.
Oh my
Although
God.
every time you do it, it goes like, oh.
Oh no! Don't do that. Hey, do I hear that?
No, you're too busy being in pain.
Oh, dude.
Because it's perfectly timed with every time you take a step on your bad ankle and
Oh.
go,
Yeah. Oh my God. It's so mean.
Plus some like clack, clack, clack.
Yeah.
on the
Yeah, that's true.
cobblestones.
This has been established. These cobblestone streets.
Mm-hmm. So noisy.
Mhm.
All right. Well, okay, so we're back at the estate. I'm gonna take the dragon to my mother and father and just be like, well, we found this mist dragon. Apparently there are raccoons on the outskirts of town selling these.
Your mother immediately takes it and is like gathering, like trying to get like a bowl of water and some stuff for it and everything. And the Duke says, did they say where these raccoons were or where they're from?
They said they were traveling in the West and they were on the outskirts of town. So I think that's our first stop, is to see what other dragons they've acquired and to get them from them.
West. Huh. I mean, certainly there are towns out west. Not raccoon towns, but I suppose they can be in the area, certainly.
Do you think the raccoons are stealing these dragons from places and just selling them to whoever wants to pay them? I mean,
well, I mean, not to be specious, but raccoons have a reputation.
Yeah.
Some of them are excellent artisans, very dexterous and imaginative, but especially in areas where they are in need, they can resort to using that dexterity for less than ideal activities. But certainly, like stealing the weather dragons from a terrain dragon, that's quite an endeavor.
Yeah, it seems like, I don't know, maybe they're working for somebody else.
Certainly worth finding out. If they have a mist dragon, it's not like you just go catch them with a butterfly net. I mean, this definitely seems linked to what's going on.
Yeah. So I'm going to turn to my mom, who's like feeding the mist dragon or whatever. And like, how does it look? Is it looking better?
It's getting some color back. It's definitely looking like restless. Like it keeps trying different like spots on surfaces, but it doesn't seem to be finding the right spot where it wants to be. But it is looking better after some water.
Yeah. How big are these dragons? Like, how big is it?
It's the little guys.
Oh
They're small.
God. So cute. Okay.
Wee little things.
All right. Well, so I'll look at it.
I mean, they fit in a small cat person's trench coat, apparently.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I'm gonna put it. Do I know, like, what did the dragons eat? And I'm just like all nervous. I'm like thinking, like, I have that little pen for Elvira, so I was thinking it could just like hang out in the pen with her. But I don't know if it's gonna eat. If either of them are gonna eat the other, one. I don't know where my mind is going. I'm sorry.
I mean, you did establish Elvira's omnivorous, so I guess you have to worry more about her than the mist dragon.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I have an extra pen. I have like an extra like little basket or something. That
sure.
Can maybe. All
right.
So I'll help him with that. Okay, that's it. That's
so is your intent then to shift your investigation to traveling to find the raccoon folk?
Oh yeah.
Or is there anything else you wanted to do before that?
Well, I would like to go and investigate the raccoons, but what do y'all think?
I mean, I'm down. I don't have any other agendas.
Yeah, I mean, it seems a reasonable place to start.
Okay.
Great.
I hope we meet more cat people.
Yeah.
And what do the raccoon people sound like is my question.
I mean, that's what you're gonna have to find out. I mean, there's so much to find out right now. Now that you know the cat folk accent, it's impossible to know what else you may run into. I mean, and the lizard folk accent. So.
I know. We know about the lizard one already.
But yeah, it's just what it is. I mean, I don't know.
I know. I know.
Well, it sounds like you are going to be actually traveling out of the city.
We are.
So there's a couple of things that we're going to need to do.
Okay.
So that you are aware of the types of supplies or things you may want to take with you, we should establish a little bit about where you're going. So, and the only reason you know this, because there were more clues to find, is because there was a critical success on information skills. But you know that they are likely out by the way of a little town called Seaglass.
Right.
So there are some things that are already set that I know about sea glass. But the rest can be impacted by you all. So I'm going to share some information here. And anything that's blank or that says players can add to it means that you can change things. And establish things, which will change some of the things that might happen when we get to that town. But things that we know. So let's see. Yeah, perfect. I'm just pasting it in Discord, and then you can like add anything you want. All right. So things that are already set. The name of the town is Sea Glass. It is in an area that's basically these sweeping grasslands leading down to the ocean. And the beach there is kind of a smooth, stony beach, is what I would say. It's a Northern California beach.
Right.
So it's got kind of all these tumbled shells and rocks and bits of glass. And what they are known for are their glassworks. Currently, the town is threatened by a strange fog and bandits. But each of you may choose one thing to decide about this town.
All right.
I got one.
Oh, okay, go.
Crab people.
Those are the people of Sea Glass.
Are you saying that's a feature, or are you saying it's a threat?
Their population?
Oh God.
Yes.
It's a feature.
Okay.
So the crab people, it's crab people versus raccoon people.
Naturally. Obviously, the raccoons would be interested in eating crab people.
True. Eating them and exploiting them, yes. Okay. Wow. Okay, we got crab people. So that's the main feature, right? Or is that population?
It is a feature, at least. Sure. A main feature of the town is that it is known to be populated by a group of crab folk.
So the town's sight, sound, and smell, I think it's just obviously, if it's if it's populated by crab people, not overrun, but it's overrun by raccoons, not crab people. So I would say that it's definitely has a funky, sweet, crabby smell to it. And when the winds aren't as fierce, and there's a lot of clicking and clattering around because of the little crab claws. And yeah, it's generally like a generally tidy town. And the vibe is kind of like, if you get out of line, like the crab people will regulate on your ass. They will.
Snap.
Yeah, it's kind of an organization thing, but they definitely do not suffer fools. They don't like it.
They're a little crabby.
They are crabby.
Sort of stuff, okay.
A wee bit.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
I like the idea that it's a big city, not a big city, but a big town. Its size is big for whatever size of municipality has already been established that it is.
So
if it's a village, it's a large village. If it's a town, it's a large town.
Yeah, no, that's because that changes what's available. So that's a good thing to set.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at
goes under population or what?
Yeah. So not quite a city, but a large town.
Yeah.
Okay.
Large town.
So
because I feel like if there's
go ahead.
a plague of raccoons, that it needs to be a largish town to support all those trash pandas. There need to be alleys and
that makes sense.
Trash cans and dumpsters and restaurants throwing out leftovers and refuse piles and so forth.
Is this the thing where the crab people eat crab?
Oh my God.
Like smaller crab?
Well, I get to choose the last details. So what you guys left open was the organization of the town. So it is ruled by a council called the Hermitage.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
That makes the decision.
Does it move from building to building every
Oh my God, it does. Yeah.
When they get too many members.
Bigger and bigger.
It gets too many members, yeah.
To a new building.
Into a bigger building.
They go to this building and then the one next door goes to that one and they just all size up all at once.
Yep.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. That's how they leave like new locations to the younglings. They're like, go take over one of those small buildings.
Right.
For your business. Maybe
I
that's how
love
it's expanded to such a large town, is like they keep having to
Yeah,
build bigger.
that's right. That's
as
right.
they grow.
Oh
Yep.
my god.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, what we know, since this will help you to plan as you rest this evening, no camping check required since you're staying in the fine and noble estate.
Yes.
You will be traveling through what is currently a kind of a wasteland, through the grasslands to the area of sea glass. You know that the weather here is currently hot. But as you get towards the ocean, it's likely to cool down a bit. But you're not expecting to hit any very difficult terrain on your way over there. And it's about, let's see, I can tell you exactly. Probably 2.5, 3 days of travel away from Arricia. The noble family, should you share your plans with them, I assume that you would.
Yeah.
Is willing to pay for the party kit to help you equip yourselves.
Cool.
But any other gear you want would be up to you to decide if there's anything additional you want to outfit yourself with.
Can you remind me what page? We have general items. That's on page 66. Right. So the party kit is.
Yes, so we can talk about that because normally you would pool your resources to try to get one.
Well,
what? Yeah, somebody doesn't have any
I have
money.
100 gold
Yeah, somebody's
that I
broke.
earned on the street.
Oh my god.
Yep. It's so party kit, normally 800 gold. Includes, and I'm going to say because they're getting it for you, it's a kind of a modified party kit. So it doesn't include an additional pack animal. The expectation is that you can use the tell book for this.
Right.
But it comes with a barrel of water, a wooden chest to carry supplies in, a repair kit, 3 torches, a fire starter kit, 2 bars of soap, a washing set, and a tent.
Oh.
And I suppose now your quartermaster
Heyo.
Yeah.
can begin to keep track of your supplies. So you do know that the journey is about 3 days away, barring any fumbles that may slow you down. So you'll want to have enough rations to get there, or at least a plan to make your own rations, if that's a thing. But otherwise, if there's anything else you wanted where there was a certain bit of equipment you thought would be helpful that you have the money for, that is up to you. If there's anything you want to add.
All right. I think I'm just gonna get some regular. So what all were you all gonna purchase anything else, or
Do we have to pay for this as well, or is this also part of the funding?
So the party kit, which includes your water and stuff, paid for by the nobles.
Okay.
You'll probably want to pull some resources for your basic rations to cover that. The nice thing is you can get basic rations, which are much cheaper.
Yeah.
Because you have a chef with you. So he can throw some chili powder on it and make it delicious later.
I'm one of the top chefs in my region, I'll have you know. Just tagine on everything.
Just salt. Like
MSG.
MSG.
Yeah.
Uses Old Bay.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Yum.
Don't use Old Bay when you get to Sea Glass. The crab people
Oh.
are very offended.
Might run us out of town.
Yeah.
But yeah, any equipment though that you want would come out of your own funds, unless you want to try to persuade the nobles, negotiate with them to get you something specific.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. There's a lot here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can go shopping for rations and things of that nature, fill up the water barrel and put, stuff like that.
I guess I'll get like a backpack and some bedding.
Yeah, I would say if you don't already have a basic kit, the nobles can certainly help you with procuring one of those.
Okay.
Which would include your like sleeping bag and your backpack and such.
Okay.
And a couple of rations
Mm-hmm.
to contribute.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll just buy some basic rations. Get like 5.
Okay.
So that's 10. It's 50. Okay.
I can keep track of all this. I mean, I could buy all our rations and then y'all can Venmo me if you want, or you can buy them and store them on the pack animal, like in the chest, if you want.
Right.
Or, I mean, we can do it all separate or stuff like that, but I can quartermaster it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Wish.
I think that works.
All right.
So I'm gonna get like a leather notebook.
Ooh.
I already have one. I am the chronicler,
Oh, all right. I guess I was just thinking about things to like offer people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, then I guess like an umbrella, I guess, and some rope.
Mhm.
Nice.
Rope is good.
Very D&D.
Yeah, I know. I've just heard that that's something I should probably get. So, so that's. Let's see.
I feel like I should get an umbrella as well. But I'll put it on the pack animal.
Then all 3 of you would have umbrellas.
I know.
That's super cute. Oh, actually, wait, I have a spell. It is a ritual. Koro Puck Kuru Cute Leaf, which creates up to 7 giant leaf umbrellas. But you can use it with an umbrella as well. So it's like the leaf goes over the umbrella. But I think I'm okay because I have that spell for myself.
You're like, I have cute leaf umbrellas.
All right. Yeah, I guess I really can't think of anything else aside from, I'm just trying to think of things that the crabs might like.
Yep. And you could, knowing with the idea to like maybe bring something that's valuable to them, anything that's specific to your city that your city is known for will be more valuable outside of your city.
Right. We could just bring some of our, some of like our fabrics and, some like maybe sheep jerky and
jerky.
What?
Yeah, you're like that one that ran me over. Jerky for the journey.
Jerky it out.
Jerk that
right
sheep.
away.
Yep.
Straight to jerky.
I was actually thinking buying some disgusting rations for trade because these are crabs. They're gonna want to eat like rotting shit and whatnot.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
So
they're
like some the stinkiest like get the stinkiest cheese I can find at the cheesemonger and
that works too.
Go down, go over to the where they're making the sheep jerky and like, can I have your offal, please?
Yep. They're like, here is a sheep stomach sack of it.
Yeah. Can I have some haggis, please? Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, totally. Smart.
Cool. All right. That's
awesome.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're good then.
Okay.
Right. Wonder if I might, when we're procuring our party kit, on the crown's dime, so to speak, if I might negotiate in lieu of a second pack animal, if we might upgrade our tent to a large tent, given that a tent has enough room for 3 people, but 3 like average sized people. I don't know if you've ever camped in a tent or what have you.
No, I think that's reasonable since you're not getting the full party kit technically. So yeah, you can have a large tent instead of a regular tent.
Thanks. Also, I mean, have you ever done that where it's like you get a tent and it's like, oh, this is a 6-person tent, and you set it up and you're like 6 like ant
The hell
people?
you say?
Like, what are you? What 6 people are sleeping comfortably in this tent?
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, arranged all Tetris style on the little diagram. Yeah.
So uncomfortable.
Excellent.
All right.
Okay. So you are able to rest overnight and be tended for your various condition of twisted ankle. So that can go away. It's okay.
Yay.
All right. So
Washing set.
that means as you prepare to sit out the next morning, we have to determine what your new condition is. You were able to sleep in fine beds and eat fine food. So you will have a +2 to your roll today.
Nice.
It is strength and spirit, just to remind you.
That's everyone.
Yes. You all set your own condition for the day.
Oof, that was almost a fumble. 2 and a 1.
Oh no.
And that's a 1 on spirit, 2 on strength.
Okay.
So clearly I don't like sleeping
No.
indoors at all. And especially in some rich nobleman's house. It's too much.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled a 1 and a 3. So 1 on my D6 and then a 3 on my D4. So spirit.
Okay.
I think my foot was just freaking hurting the whole night.
Yeah.
Yeah, not great sleep, probably a little nervous or
And anxious,
excited, about this
Mhm.
adventure.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Mhm.
All right.
Got an 8, a 7 on my strength, and a 1 on my spirit. So
All right. So you can total those up and put those as your condition for the day.
Okay.
Put some of you at a little bit of a disadvantage for
Yeah.
the first day. But luckily, maybe when you camp, your local cook artisan friend can give you some rations to help you out. All right. All right. So, is there anything you want to do before you leave the city?
No, I can't think of anything. Do you all want to do anything else?
What is my job as the chronicler? Do I have to do anything during the session, or am I just writing up session reports afterwards?
Yep, you are in character writing up the session report at the end.
Yes.
Oh no.
This is going to be fun.
No. Oh my God.
Yeah, because you will only get Ren's view of what happened this whole time. Yep, it's very excellent.
And where do we record our condition number?
I think on your character sheets, I believe it's under.
Yeah, it's under the max
hit
HP.
points. Yeah.
Mhm.
Max HP. HP. Oh, there it is. Oh, got it.
Mhm.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah.
And so our condition can't be higher than that number of strength plus spirit. Is that it? Or just-
So strength plus spirit is what you roll to set your condition every day.
I see. Okay.
So it can
I
be as
bubbled it
high
in.
as you can roll.
I thought it was like sanity. All right. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Wow, that's horrible. Okay.
God.
Awesome. All right. So this first day, it is once again hot. And as you leave the city, you can see that kind of outside of the terraced areas that are still being focused on for what water is available. As soon as you kind of leave the city walls, it is dry, starting to get dusty. It's functionally, I mean, this is turning from what was once kind of this beautiful mountain area into a wasteland, is what it's starting to look like here. So you are walking through the heat of the day.
Oh, and yeah, when we all met up, and first thing in the morning, I was bearing 3 giant leaf umbrellas. Handed out, one to each of you.
Nice.
So cute.
Cute. I like that too.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, this the leaves may be used as a +1 bonus rolls involving rainy weather. Well, that doesn't help much, but nonetheless.
Isn't it all of our weather for this game rainy weather technically?
Oh, good point. Loophole.
A loophole.
Interesting, because a regular umbrella gives you +1 to travel on hot or rainy days.
Wow. How strange.
So that is strange.
I think the leaf umbrellas should work the same way.
Well, they would wilt though. I think that they would wilt under the sun. Like the kale leaves
to it as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually it says they cannot be used in conjunction with actual umbrellas. So never mind what I said earlier.
All right. Well, I just think it's a nice token. Maybe you could leave it behind for my mom to enjoy, for the mist dragon, to keep the mist dragon cool.
Leave it behind.
Yep.
Make like a tree and get out of here.
Correct.
Probably lash it to the rigging on Ursus' back so that he has a little shade on his head.
Make a little cap for him, I believe.
Yeah. All right.
Imagine there's like the A-frame type of thing, like on his back, a pack saddle type of situation, the chest on one side, the water barrel on the other, and all of our stuff in the chest, which I have verified for the record that it all fits in there and it doesn't overload the carrying capacity of Ursus.
Well, I have a backpack, so if I need to carry some stuff, I will.
Okay. I'm carrying all my shit in my backpack currently. I'm wearing my sun cape and carrying my umbrella.
All right. So the landscape that you're traversing, it does have a kind of a relatively clear path through it. So you don't really have to like wayfind very much today, unless you were looking to go off the path in search of something. And there's, these rocky outcroppings every once in a while. And up ahead, you can see where the grasslands sort of start, where the dry, cracked waste hasn't quite taken over yet. So as you're continuing your journey, you can spot little like colorful pops of red amongst the green in the distance. And as you get closer, you note that they are raspberries. And Mercedes would know these are the grand raspberries that this region is known for, these grasslands. So you do have some options today while you travel. There is always the option of gathering whatever healing herbs are in the area, or since you are in this specific region, you can also, if you want to, gather raspberries because they are, one, they're food, but two, they are worth money as well. Grand raspberries are worth 50 gold a bushel. And so it is up to you if you want to do any gathering. Note, if you really fumble a roll, raspberry bushes are quite prickly. But otherwise, it is up to you if you want to do any gathering today while you are journeying.
This each of us, or like a one-time thing, like one? Okay, so everyone gets to pick which they want.
Yeah. So it says, the party may do so, but I would say you can like split your focus. Like I said, you're not needing someone to focus on wayfinding right now because the path is kind of, there's like a trade road basically.
Okay.
So if there are things you want to do along the way, you are allowed to do so, but it is always a choice. So whether you're keeping an eye out or you're gathering herbs or berries or something like that, totally up to you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind keeping an eye out, while there's some gathering going on.
Yeah, I'll definitely do some herb gathering.
Okay.
Oh, okay, cool. I want to look for herbs, too. But if you're looking for herbs, then
Berries.
I guess I'll do berries.
You are
Okay.
a bear person after
I was gonna say I'll just
Yeah.
reinforce the stereotype, I guess.
Yes.
Alright.
Where you're like, I was gonna look for herbs, but ooh.
all right.
Yeah.
There's berries.
All right.
Yep.
So for the berries, it's strength and int to gather.
Strength and int to gather.
Oh my gosh.
I'll see myself out.
Yep.
Thank you. I think you better have.
All right. As a 3 on the strength and a 4 on the int for a grand total of 7.
Excellent. So a 6 or better means that you are able to pick a full bushel of raspberries
Whoa.
over the course of the day's journey.
Yeah.
All right, herb gatherer. It is also strength and int.
Oh, great. Fun fact, when my mom was a kid living in Alaska in the 50s, they went out gathering blackberries and they were like standing in a blackberry bush, just picking them. And all of a sudden a black bear just came charging out of the bush because it was just like, get the fuck away from my blackberries.
Those are
And they're like,
mine.
"Ah!" It just ran off. So it's really weird to have a bear gathering berries. 'Cause
Aw.
it's like both sides of the story. This dice tower is being really weird. All right.
All right.
So 10 total, 7 and 3.
Ooh.
Mm.
So with a 10, I will say you are doubly successful since you're passing through 2 types of terrain today. You get one particularly nice crowned morning glory from the
Nice.
wasteland,
Yeah.
which helps for sleep. So your condition
Mm.
will be 6 instead of whatever crappy thing you roll to
thank
like if
God.
you use it.
Oh, I need it. Right.
And then you also gather a nice ripe sunset apple, which it recovers 2 hit points if you use it.
I'm actually going to eat that right away because I'm at 7 out of 8. So
Okay.
I'll eat the apple on the road.
Sounds
And
good.
I'll be taking that morning glory supplement tonight to help me sleep.
Yeah, help you sleep. You're already
Nice.
on the supplements.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just like
Ageless.
making a little tincture, like mixing it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay. And so for our person keeping watch, let's go ahead and do a quick perception. So that's Dex and Int, please.
Okay. All right. Let's double 8s again. Oh, 6 and a 4.
Oh, excellent.
10 total.
Okay. So there's no sign of danger on this, your first day of travel.
Mhm.
However, your high roll allows you to see along the horizon something that you haven't personally seen in a very long time, but you can see a fog rolling in the distance.
Ah.
So you believe, if you are a weather teller,
Mhm.
that tomorrow's weather will be foggy.
Yes. Some fog rolling in. Look. So I'll point to the horizon to you two.
I'll breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
There's fog on the horizon. All right. Which direction is
Yeah, I
it?
was going to ask.
West?
You are
West?
heading west.
We're heading
Yeah.
west.
And
So.
it's to the
We're
west.
heading into it.
Mhm.
So okay.
Makes sense.
Right.
Sea glass has been under a heavy fog of late, they say.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I've heard news. Okay, that's cool.
All
Well,
right.
should we camp here, for the night, and then head over there the next day, or do we? How far away is it? I guess.
So you have another full day of travel,
Mhm.
plus part of the next day.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So yeah. So I would say that we camp again, and then start the next day.
All right.
Setting up.
So, artisan, are
Oh.
you preparing delicious rations tonight? Or are you letting people eat regular rations?
Oh, I'm preparing delicious rations.
Yay!
Okay.
because I feel
And then,
like,
go ahead.
Trying to see. I was like filling out my character sheet and keeping track of all the stuff. Like breaking out everything in the party kit into its individual components to make sure all the size worked out and stuff like that.
Very good quartermasterly duties. Yes.
Right. What are you thinking about? Oh, nothing. Just quartermaster things. And so I didn't mark down like how many rations I like bought, or did we like all buy them and then just like here's but like
I know
back when you're a kid, you show up your first day of elementary school with your like box of tissue and your packet of pencils and you give it to the teacher.
Yeah, your regular kit comes with 2 days of rations personally, so each of you would have a minimum of 2. And then I know Mercedes bought 5 rations, I think, on top of that. So you do, if Mercedes is willing to share, have enough for the journey at this point. And the cool thing about your ability is you take those regular rations and you can, if your roll goes well, upgrade them. So for you, I assume that you will spend this time cooking while the camp is being set up then? You're muted, so I don't know. It's very mysterious. Okay. Like, okay. So that means someone else would have to set up the camp, which is Dex and Int. Is there a volunteer for who wants to take lead?
Me.
Okay. Would Ren like to assist with the role?
Sure.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll leave our cook to cook, and I will check on you after the camp is set up. But Ren would go first on the roll. So you would roll your Dex plus Int.
Okay. That is a 5 total, a 3 and a 2.
Perfect. That is just enough to give Mercedes a +1 on setting up the camp. So Dex
obviously
and
I'm
Int,
doing the absolute bare ass minimum.
Yeah, you're not doing much.
You're like, look, I kicked that rock out of the way.
Yeah.
Look, here's a stick.
Oh, yeah. I got an 8 and a 6, 14. +1 is 15.
Nice. Awesome. Was that max on both of them?
Max on 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So perfect. So you set up a beautiful camp. So talk to me about your process in setting up the camp, that it turned out so well, despite the fox only helping a little bit.
I feel like Ren was just kind of like, yeah, this is a good spot. And then like walked away. It's like, yeah, this is good. Be like, why? Well, because that tree and this and this.
That's true.
It's like,
I share my expertise.
Okay. And then I'm like, oh, wait, what?
By the way, I just realized one of my class skills is well-traveled. I get a +1 to journey checks. So I guess that's
all of them. Yeah.
That's
check.
everyone, dude.
So
oh man.
I'll remember that. So obviously, it's like, well, you see, this is slightly sloped. So, this, and then there's this tree over here, but it's not too close in case there's lightning and blah, blah, blah. So
and then you just walk away.
Rundown. Yeah.
Or
like,
maybe
start making your tincture for these days.
Yeah, exactly. Clink, 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 clink. But like, I'm sure also I'm like casually reeling off all these like horrible, fates that can befall you out in nature. Like, well, you want to hang your food up over there so you're not eaten by a wild animal, and you want to, don't set it up near a hillside so you're crushed by a rock fall, and then you want to be careful of lightning and just all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like totally blasé.
Yeah. So what I do is I have like, I find like some sticks and things to like kind of smooth out the area. And I, break out my little tools and I start just like putting the stakes in and just setting it up so that it's just comfortable for everybody. And I just kind of do that. And then I help to maybe, trying to think of anything else. Oh, I'll just make sure that the animals are tended to, like making sure that the pack animals, like I know that the chef already like tended to it a little bit, but just double checking, making sure that it's like secure. And so just doing all the different little things just to make it cozy.
Yeah, I like that since this is kind of your first travel, I like that it's very like textbook. Like you're sending out exactly the way you learned to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's super cool.
You got this like camping guide from your library that you brought with you.
Yeah, and I remember like different things that I would that my dad taught me and stuff like that. So
it's like the Eagle Scout guide and it's actual Eagle folk who read it and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's written by Tengu.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just set it up so that
LL
everybody
Bean
right.
people.
The bean people.
Yeah, so I just make sure that my I'm just make sure everybody is set and that Elvira, my little jackalope, has its own little area near, in the tent with me, just kind of enjoying being outside.
Although I'm sure Aki has been quietly terrorizing.
Oh, yeah.
As discussed earlier.
Yep.
What? No! What have you been doing?
As they're like rolling around.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. What is it doing? No, I hate that.
Wrestling.
No. Wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah. They both tried to catch the same butterfly and then started wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. That's perfect.
Something appropriately adorable.
Exactly. They're fighting over a butterfly.
But
so they
the
can
snarls,
eat it.
Yes, they can eat it. The snarls are not very cute, but they're just but they're still cute.
All right, Santiago, your trail cooking skill is strength and dex.
Oh man, what are we gonna get?
Go here. Oh man.
You got this. Come on.
Okay. I got a 2 on my strength and a 6 on my dex.
Yeah.
8.
You are in the grasslands, which are difficulty 6. So you're good.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
So you found probably some wild onions and things like that to help dress it up. Because the idea of your trail cooking skill, it's like what you find along the way to dress it up a little. Yeah, some mushrooms and things. So you do an excellent job upgrading today's rations from regular to delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Delicious rations.
So which does mean that everyone gets a +1 on their con check the next morning.
Wow. Okay. So I'll have
I need to deduct our ration stores. See, rations I want to say are size 1 each.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Cool. So I had 2 rations, right? You were saying
everyone had 2 as part of their kit. And then there was additional 5 that came from Mercedes.
So we had 11 total. Okay. All right. But now we have 8. Okay. Got it. All right.
Right. So we have this amazing meal.
Yep. So, you have an excellent evening. But before we decide exactly how your sleep went, I think we'd have to roll our condition checks for the next day to give us an idea of exactly how sleeping in your large tent together with your pets went that evening.
Oh my God, no.
So condition
If Aki just kept us up the whole night, I am going to be so mad.
So even you do have the option. If Ren uses your herb, you can just have your condition at 6, no roll.
Oh, okay.
Or if you want to go for the roll, you know that your delicious rations will override your curse, at least for your condition roll.
Oh, plus I get my +1.
Yeah, plus you get your +1. So you'd actually have a +1 overall. So up to you if you want to roll for it or use the herb to get kind of a baseline condition.
I mean, I found the herb, so I might as well. As well use it.
So I guess you just conked out because you had the sleeping herb.
And you're used to traveling. Like you're used to.
And by the way, yeah, like I'm not sleeping in the tent either. I have a sleeping bag that I've unfurled, so I'm like on the opposite side of the campfire or what have you. So,
Oh my God.
sleeping out under the stars. Yep. All right, here we go.
Seasoned traveler, you have your neck pillow. You're just all ready to go.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. All right, see, there we go. 5 + 2 + 1 is 8.
Nice.
Boom.
Right. All right.
Had a great
the rest
night.
of you, strength plus spirit, and then you get a +1 from your delicious rations the night before.
So that's a 5.
Okay.
Nice. 7 strength and 2 spirit.
Wow.
Plus 1, 10.
Nice.
I'm not having a good time.
Aw.
You're not used to this.
I'm not used to sleeping outside.
Yeah.
What? Is this your first time sleeping out on the ground, basically?
I've done
Lordy.
little trial runs. So, but not like this is like really intense because I like we have like this goal in mind, and so there's a little bit of anxiety. Like there's a
For
lot
sure.
riding on this. Yeah. Plus, there's Aki and the Elvira fighting, and that's bothering me.
Yeah. Especially since Ren sleeps outside, they start fighting like through the tent wall. So you just see like the impression of like mouth against the tent. And they're like...
Or like Aki gets the zoomies at 3 a.m.
Oh
No!
absolutely.
Oh, man.
Oh,
All right. So you pack up camp. Some of you feel great. Some of you are annoyed.
Yep.
And sore. But yeah. Today, though, as you are packing up, just as Mercedes predicted, based on what was seen the day before, a light mist starts rolling in over your campsite as you're finishing getting everything put away.
Getting closer.
Yeah. This fog does make it a little bit difficult to follow the road. It gets thicker as the day goes on. So who amongst you would like to make a direction check? It is int and int, double int.
Well,
It can be supported.
I can
There is
double. Yeah, if it can be
Ooh.
supported.
I'll support. with
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I'll double.
So supporter, you may roll first.
Yeah.
And you do get a +1 because it is a journey check.
Yeah, I was going to ask. Okay.
Yeah.
Does my curse apply?
Your curse, I think, only applies to condition.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So call. Ooh, I rolled a double 6.
Yeah. Yay.
Oh, no. Okay.
All
Hold
right.
on. I got to look up how support works if you crit. All right. Let's see. Support rules. There's nothing, doesn't say anything special. So I'm going to say what usually happens when you crit something is going to apply. So Mercedes, for your direction check roll, you can roll twice and take the better result
Oh, nice.
Ooh,
Okay.
there you go.
based on your friend Ren's expert knowledge of how to traverse these situations.
So there's an 8 and a 2 for my first one. So that's 10.
Yep.
Oh, and I rolled a 6 and a 4, 10. So
Oh, how funny.
I was just meant to do that. So I'll
You're
go
meant
with
to
the 8.
have 10's a great roll though. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Plus 1 is 11. So that's 11.
Yeah. So you are able to stay really well on the road. You know, you're not losing any time. So everything looks great. And then through the fog, you hear a strange sound, a sort of shrill sort of cry off through the mist. Would you like to continue on your path? Would you like to try to investigate?
I want to investigate.
Your leader says to investigate. Is everyone okay with that?
Sure.
Yeah. I'm done with the washing up, I suppose. Just putting away all the washing kit and such. I guess that's for clothes, but anyway, yeah, let's check out.
All right.
Someone could be in danger.
So, you already had a good direction check and everything, so it's fine. You make your way through the fog towards the mysterious sound. And you see two very interesting things. One, for the first time on this journey, and maybe for the first time ever for some of you, you see the form of a terrain dragon. This one is a grassland terrain dragon because you're in the grasslands.
Okay.
I'll show you what they look like. They're very cute.
Oh, that's adorable. So they have like bird legs, they like bird feet, and then they have these like ferns coming out of their head and back and tail. They're very cute. Okay. Mm-hmm. Difficulty 6. I did recognize that number. So.
Difficulty 9. What's that all about?
That's single digits. We're good. Everything's recognizable as a number still.
Hey.
All right. And you can see that the terrain dragon is contentedly making noises as it munches on some raspberry bushes. However, the shrill cry seems to have come from the fact that it's been alerted by a strange creature. And it seems to be a little, like you said, it's bird-like. So it's definitely in like mode about it. And what you see is a strange creature, ? It is a 30-centimeter tall egg with human legs.
No.
What? And it's like walking over to the terrain dragon and like kicking at it. And the terrain dragon is going.
What kind of Bosch painting fuckery is this?
Yeah, really.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Love it. Okay. I have never seen an egg like this. Do you all have... So I'll turn to Ren and I'll be like, what is that?
Can I make a knowledge roll?
Yes, you can.
All right. 30 centimeters is about a foot, everybody, just by the way.
Yeah. Is it its own baby? No, it has human legs.
It's its own baby.
Yeah, it has disturbingly human legs.
Are they hairy?
Yeah. Just below the knee, though. Not on the thigh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 7.
Okay. You would know that this comes from a group of mysterious / monstrous creatures known as eggs. There are walking eggs, running eggs, and even riding eggs. This looks like a walking or running one.
No.
And nobody knows where these things came from. Nobody thinks they actually hatch into anything, but they're real weird. It's some people say it's lucky to crack one open to kill it, basically.
Oh.
But they seem to be like, I don't know, they're kind of dicks. So this one's like just kicking a terrain dragon. The poor grasslands terrain dragon is like making its flute-like sounds in alarm. Yeah. And then it turns to like run away into the fog, the terrain dragon does. And the little egg does a little like dance and then kicks the bush and then runs off in the opposite direction.
What a dick! Wow. I love this so much. This is an amazing image.
Right.
Oh my God. So I'll turn to Ren and be like, what the hell was that?
An egg.
An egg? That's not like any egg I've ever seen. It had legs.
You've never seen a running egg before?
No. Or a walking egg?
Now you have.
Well, I don't like it. It seemed like an ass, and it was mean to that terrain dragon, obviously.
No, you don't want to run into an ass. Eggs are much better.
Oh my God. A running ass.
A running ass.
Okay. Well, what's
it's
inside
just an ass with a pair of legs, so an ass.
So an ass. So what is inside that egg? Do you know, Ren?
I've never killed one myself, but they say it's sometimes worthwhile.
Why? What the hell could it possibly be? I'm like totally perplexed and like confused. Yeah, so let's see here. No detailed information about the things you see or hear. So maybe I'm like thinking, like I'm just like I'm kind of feeling I want to roll for this.
Yeah.
I'm
now that you've been told what it is, have you read about these before?
Like, have I read about them? I'm so sleep deprived and like annoyed that I'm just like, and like I was so like my adrenaline got up. Like, is it going to run toward us? Is it going to start kicking or attacking us?
Well, it's
like,
run into the mist, so who knows if you're going to run it?
I know, exactly.
Oh,
it's
we're
going to
being
come
hunted by an egg.
All right, so clever girl. Oh, I rolled double eights. I critted for real on the fucking egg. God damn it.
Oh, you know everything about these. As soon as you hear like, oh, it's an egg, like whatever.
Like,
you're like, oh,
I know about this.
So
like you've never seen a picture of one, so you just assume they called it an egg like poetically, but it's like,
but it's an actual egg.
It's a literal egg. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these egg, nobody has ever seen them hatch into anything.
Yeah.
But their insides are known to be delicious.
What?
You can make giant omelets out of them.
Oh, sweet.
And
what do you do with the legs?
Sometimes when you
dipping sauce.
Yeah. Sometimes when you defeat them in battle, it's very lucky, like something lucky happens, but only sometimes. Just depends.
Sometimes I want to charge into the fog and find that damn egg so bad right now.
Do you want to?
I do. I really do.
All right. So I think what we'll do is next session, we will start with establishing your foggy combat against the running egg.
Oh my God.
And yeah, that's where we'll leave off this time.
Oh
I will. This is here. I'll give you a picture of what they look like.
Yes, please do. I'm scared. This is scary. This reminded me of the. Oh my God.
The fucking sweat drop coming off of it.
This looks like the freaking.
Why
egg
is it
council.
wearing shoes?
It looks like the egg council eggs.
Yes.
And it has arms too. I didn't know it had arms.
Yeah.
This art does show. Oh
Is
yeah,
it
nope,
arms?
they do have arms as well. So yes,
So it's doing
arms
like
and
this
legs.
little like victory dance with its arms, and like all happy to be a dick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get so many of these eggs.
Which will be great because we'll get to start next session by introducing the combat rules.
Yes, that'll be good.
But yeah, that picture shows a walking and a running egg. Thus the sweat drop.
One's strolling, and then the running
Exerting,
is a little more. Yeah. They burn calories, obviously. Oh my God, I hate these things already.
They
so
burn
much.
calories, obviously.
I hate them with a fiery passion. So I'll turn to Akamet and I'll be like, hey, do you know how to make some dishes with eggs?
I like eggs. Eggs are delicious and versatile. Every Beltane, we kill the fatted egg.
Oh my God.
Oh, what?
Celebration.
Oh, you got mountain eggs up there?
Yeah.
Mountain eggs.
I'm picturing
tang
Mercedes
to
looking back at us and like, do you know how to cook eggs? It's like, I do. And then like just fucking like Aragorn charging off towards the Black Gate,
Yellow.
Instead of like for Frodo, it's like, for omelets or something.
For omelets.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my God.
So just so you all know what I did.
Sorry. Sorry.
There's like 70 something or like 80 different like monsters in Ryuutama.
Wow.
So I just put them into a spreadsheet so I could random roll them.
Man.
And I was
my
like,
God.
I really wanted an egg. And eventually it happened. So
yes.
yeah, because like when you fumbled in the city, I did a random roll and got medium animal. Which is how the sheep happened. But now,
my
you got the egg.
Gosh.
So, which I was very excited about happening.
Wow.
So.
Wow. That is very exciting.
Let us talk about XP homeworks for those of you who have homework, and an option for earning some extra gold for out of game duties.
Oh.
All right. Okay. So let me check my XP cheat sheet here. Mm-hmm. All right. Excellent. It's pretty easy so far because I'm a level 1 GM, so I can't give you a lot of extra stuff. But for the things that you've done so far, normally you would each get 100 XP. But because of my fantastical torch, you get 200 XP.
What?
So we can talk a little bit about what that means. Leveling up, gotta look for it. All right. That's the song. So I get to level up, which is exciting.
Yay!
All right. So
Sweet.
once you pass 100 XP, which you have done now,
Mm-hmm.
you hit level 2. So everyone is now level 2.
Sweet.
All right. So things that happen. You each get 3 points that you can divide in any way you wish between HP and MP maximums. So you can spend all 3 points in one, or you can split them up or whatever. But you can either increase HP, MP, or both. But 3 points is the pool that you have to do that.
Okay, done.
All right.
Good.
You're going to get a lot of XP next session because obviously combat will increasify what we add to it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There better not be a
Everyone-
herd of eggs.
Oh,
Everyone's
shit.
Clutch of
carrying
eggs.
capacity increases by 1.
Oh, that's
Oh.
nice.
Cool.
I was maxed out, so that's good.
Oh yeah, that is nice then. And then because this is an even level,
Mm-hmm.
you get to pick one of your stats, so strength, dex, int, or spirit, and increase it permanently by 1 die size.
Ooh, and we can go
The
to D10,
maximum is
right?
D12.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
So,
Oh.
But yeah. so you can go from 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10, or if you already have something at 10, if somehow 10 to 12.
Dex 8, baby.
Nice.
And then of course, if that's a stat that contributes to any of your derived stats, it does increase those as normal.
Wow.
And then
And
David,
then-
because you were
What?
special,
Oh.
let's see, because you are a magic user, I believe that you are going to get some more magics as well. So let me double check.
Do fumble points carry over if we haven't spent them?
Yes, fumble points carry over between sessions. So you can hoard them until you need
Oh
them.
my God.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, of course. But anyway, we'll talk about the extra stuff and then I can do that one off mic so they don't have to edit as much. All right. So obviously quartermaster has been quartermastering during the session.
Yay.
Your leader has been leadering during the session,
Oh.
Definitely.
making decisions about charging in to get eggs and things like that,
Hey.
and leaving the city to go chase down the raccoon folk. So all
Yeah.
very good things, which means that your journaler, your journal keeper, will have to do the homework of writing up Ren's account of what occurred in between.
And
However,
I want to write
go
it
ahead.
from memory. I don't want to
Yes.
re-listen to the session. By the way,
Yeah.
I found the magic level.
oh, good, awesome,
Yes. So I get
Okay.
to select 2 new incantation spells.
perfect, beautiful,
Nice.
excellent.
I do like to would
go
like
ahead.
to share that we are nearly at our carrying capacity.
Oh.
I've had to hand off one of our 3 torches to Mercedes,
Mhm.
asking her
Yeah.
if she'd kindly carry this
Totally.
in her backpack. And the other 2, of course, are stored on. Let's see, they are on Ursus, like strapped to the top of the pack saddle or similar. But I have everything all marked out with where it is with ad hoc symbols for each one
Excellent.
Nice.
to keep track of what is where. And yeah, everybody is laden. I mean, I'm currently at 15 of 25, but I feel like that's like actively carrying stuff because I don't have like a bag or anything to put stuff in.
Well, I think
Right.
you got
In my
a regular
backpack,
kit, so you
so-
have like a backpack.
Yeah.
I do have a large backpack, but that is currently full
Okay.
with a lot of the
And keep in mind,
stuff that it
anything
came
you
with.
are actively wearing or holding does not count towards your carrying capacity. So like your clothes don't count towards your overall carrying
Wow.
capacity and
Okay.
stuff.
I
like
mean, my sun cape and my umbrella do have a size, which I counted towards
Right,
like, my
but if they're
personal
equipped,
carrying
they
capacity.
do not count towards your carrying capacity.
Okay.
Only
Got it.
stuff that you are carrying like to store counts towards your carrying capacity.
That makes sense. Okay.
All right, so I can say like that I have my wood axe strapped to my back and my knife in its sheath at my waist, and so when I'm wearing my sun cape and the umbrella is like over my shoulder or what have you. Okay, so I'll reduce my current capacity from 15 to 3.
Yeah.
because I am actively carrying my umbrella.
Your
I'm gonna
brelly.
say.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay,
It's
that's
a
fine.
big ass umbrella, and I cast quite a shadow myself. So if anyone wants to walk in my shade, feel free to share my
Your
A
shade.
beach umbrella. Yeah.
I have shared
Mm.
shade to spare. Yeah, I mean, it's
Nice.
basically a beach umbrella and me. So
Yeah.
there's
Awesome.
Cool.
All right. For anyone who would like 300 gold between now and next session, if you create a visual detailing your inventory and items,
Oh,
whatever
hello.
that means to you, then you will be bequeathed 300 gold pieces for your efforts.
we can get that one more time if we do what now?
Make a visual representation of your inventory and gear.
Oh, I mean, might as well. In fact, that would make it easier to keep track of
Yeah.
than this ad hoc symbol system I have right now. Just to try to make sure, like, can we actually carry all this shit? Because
Mhm.
between a large tent and a washing set, that's 8 size right there. Add a bushel of raspberries, that's 11. Like, I mean, it's a lot.
Mhm.
It is a hell of a lot,
Yeah,
especially with the raspberries.
it's true.
Especially with the raspberry.
And then when you add some like a dozen eggs to it, it's gonna be a lot.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's you might just have to eat it all right away.
Oh no! Oh my god! Gross! This is so gross. I love it.
Just have these human arms and legs like set aside
Oh,
as you're eating this giant
Seriously.
egg.
And I don't know, those egg arms and egg legs look pretty yolky to me.
they are yellow. It's true. I
So
don't know. Let's see.
I do not like how some of the art makes them quite humanoid, but I think this is the higher level ones, which
Wait, what?
make
The
me
ones that can ride?
yeah, like they're like basically traveler eggs. But here I'll show
Oh
you.
no!
Here's like the game art for
Oh
them.
no! It has eyes.
Yep.
Oh, and
Oh my
they're like
God.
dead eyes, like a
Oh my
doll's
God.
And there
eye.
is a diagram of one of them hella dead.
Oh my god!
I
oh,
love and the thing in the middle where it's cracked open and the
Yes.
yolk's coming out. Like,
egg people.
Oh my! I don't like it with eyes. I like it better
Yeah.
without eggs. Aruku tamago.
uh-huh.
And I like the little sun dragon going approving of this. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Mm. Looks tasty.
yeah. Wow. It has like little like Mickey Mouse hands, like
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse, like the little gloves. Dude, I don't like it, but they need to be murdered, so we'll figure it out.
And then just
We'll make it happen.
so that you know,
it has a footprint. Sorry,
Yeah.
it shows a boot print and then a footprint.
yeah,
Yeah.
Gross.
It has 5 toes. Why does it have
Oh
5 toes?
no, God no. All right, sorry,
Yeah.
Rady.
What
No, you're
the
good.
hell?
Just so that you know
What?
who you were dealing with, trying to shadily sell you things in town as
Oh,
well.
the cat person.
Yeah, so you know what cat folk look like in this game. I will show you that as well.
Shady ass cat person.
Oh,
God.
that's so cute.
So
I love
mean.
it. The voice was perfect.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So there you go. There's your first session of Ryuutama.
Wow. I didn't know what to expect, and
Me
yet
neither,
it
and I
still
love it.
exceeded my expectations.
Absolutely. It was
It's
so
just real
good.
silly.
It is great.
But yeah.
It's good.
We all did great. We did wonderful
Yeah, we leveled up.
things. Yeah, good job.
Good job, everybody.
Ooh, I leveled up too. I get to choose
You did,
some new
I
stuff
know.
for next time.
Uh-oh.
Nice.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Man, I'm at strength 10 now.
I get my
baby.
first
That's
benediction. This level. So.
Ooh.
Okay.
Love it. This is great. Thank you, Rainey, for this.
Of course. Thank you, everyone, for listening to our playthrough of Ryuutama on the Esoteric Order of Role Players. I'd like to give a special thank you to Tabletop Audio for making available all sorts of cool sounds and music. Hopefully you enjoyed their inclusion in our session today. And of course, check out patreon.com/esotericrp for behind the scenes and more ways to support the podcast.